Good morning, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving, and welcome to the 57th annual Thanksgiving Day festivities between the presidents of Quincy High School and the Red Raiders of North Quincy High School. I'm your host, Mike Tucker, and a beautiful morning. We're about a half hour before the toss of the coin and the kickoff for this game, and the fans are starting to come in right now. It's about 50 degrees, a sunsplash morning here for Thanksgiving. A little different from last year's when we had snow and the game was played on Saturday, but today everybody is geared up. You can feel the electricity here in the stadium. On both teams are pretty healthy right now, especially the Quincy team, no injuries to speak of. If you watched our pregame Thanksgiving show on Monday night, you would have noticed that we talked about Desmond Ballot, the wide receiver of North Quincy, and also Chris Murray, the running back for the North Quincy Red Raiders. They are both injured, one with a sore foot and the other one with a broken leg. And they are here today to celebrate with their team. And we're going to roll to a tape with Ken McPhee, head coach of the defending city champ Red Raiders. I'm at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're about an hour before game time. I'm here with head coach Ken McPhee of the North Quincy Red Raiders, defending city champs of last year. Kenny, we know what goes through the minds of the kids, but just wondering for our listeners out there, what goes through the mind of a coach, especially the night before?
Well, Mike, there's not a lot of sleep being done by anybody at that time. What we're trying to do is making sure that we haven't forgotten anything, make sure that we have, take care of every situation that might arise on the day after. Just try to prepare as best we can. Try to get things into our head and make sure we know what we're going to do.
Now, when you met with the kids this morning, how was everybody? What was the feeling?
And there's some intensity in there, that's for sure. This is a great senior group. The record isn't what they would hope it would be, but I'm going to tell you, they're going to give you everything they got today.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you at halftime as you go in through the tunnel there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good luck today, Kenny. North Quincy head coach Ken McPhee, 4-5, going for that 500 record today and to defend their city championship. I want to thank Kenny for that. We wish him all the luck today. Also, we want to wish Kenny's mom, who's also unfortunately in the hospital with the food poisoning, we wish her all the luck and happy Thanksgiving to you, Mrs. McPhee. On the other side, Quincy, coming in this year, 7-1-1 in the first year in the Old Colony League. They lead this Thanksgiving festivities, 28 wins to 24 losses to 5 ties. And they coming in off a loss of last year's Thanksgiving, a very, very good ball game coming down to the last second, a 1-point win by the North Quincy Red Raiders. And I talked a little bit with head coach Jack Raymer of the Quincy Presidents. Back in the field, we're about 45 minutes until game time. I'm here with head coach Jack Raymer of the Quincy Presidents. Jack, I asked Kenny the same question. We know what goes through the minds of the kids. They're getting all psyched up and stuff. But what goes through the mind of a coach the night before a ball game like this?
Well, the last couple of days have been kind of hectic for the kids. I've been here since 1970. These games when you're playing them, you still get a little butterflies in your stomach, but it's just we have a meeting with the kids, and then you just kind of go home and put your feet up on the sofa and relax for a little while, and try to get a good night's sleep. So, that's basically what we did last night.
Now, is it a special kind of practice, especially for the seniors, their last practice with you guys?
Yesterday we have a little ceremony that we do with the seniors, and we have a lot of alumni that come back to the field, and it's kind of a nice thing, and they understand it. As North, I'm sure, does the same thing. It's emotional for the seniors, but it's a fun day, really.
Now, the field is in excellent condition. Couldn't ask for a better day. The sun's out, and the people are starting to file in here. You can feel the electricity in here.
Yeah, this is what it's all about, and it's really, last year was such a terrible day weather-wise, but this is just a great day. There's not going to be excuses for the weather or the field, and this is how it should be. And it's been real nice to see a good crowd. And I think it's good for the kids, and it's good for the whole situation, the whole game.
Well, you're 7-1-1 coming into this game, and we wish you all the luck and hope you're 8-1-1 by the end of the game. And we'll see you at halftime.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Okay.
Jack Raymer, head coach of the Quincy Presidents, trying to bring back that trophy, the city trophy, back to the high school of Quincy High School. All right, I want to thank head coach Jack Raymer on his outstanding record, and also we hope for him to have a win tonight. He wants that trophy back at his high school. Well, you can hear the emotion behind me and the hand clapping. Both teams are on the field getting ready for this game. The excitement People are starting to flow in here. Maybe about 20,000 we get in here on this beautiful day. I'd like to also thank all the boosters and the Parents Club of North Quincy High School and also Quincy High School for doing a great job this year, especially with the new league, the Old Colony League, and inviting the people in and giving them free hot dogs and Cokes and making them feel welcome here at Quincy. Well, on behalf of everybody in the truck, we wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Kickoff will be in about a half hour. We'll see you then for that. But right now, we're going to roll into a tape with all the starting lineups of bowl teams for today's ball game. I've been your host, Mike Tucker. Kickoff. What does that mean?
down in Taunton 2 weeks ago. North likes to throw the football. They got a Taylor as a transfer quarterback from Braintree, stands about 6'3", and he's really improving. Of course, they lost their best receiver, Balot, 2 or 3 games ago, so he won't be playing. But I see North to throw the football. I see North to throw a lot of screens. They're not going to try to run right at Quincy. When they do, they're going to use their big fullback, who they started to use last week a little bit more. So I think if there's any weakness there might be on the Quincy side, in this league, as you know, Charlie, there hasn't been much passing. So I think that North is going to go out and they're going to test the Quincy passing defense, and they're going to see what they can do to stop the pass. On the other side, Quincy's going to stick to the game that's brought them here, which is basically running. They're not going to change much, and they're just going to run at North Quincy, hit the tight end once in a while, and they're going to stick right to the game because they get the horses. So I think it's going to be a very, very interesting ball game. Watch for North to go to a lot of screens, draws, long passes. If they get a quick rush by Quincy, if Quincy sends all their defensive backs up, watch for the long pass back to the weak side. So I think both coaches are scouted, and they're coming here and they're going to do what got them here, and they're going to use it in this ball game.
Injuries are a factor. Chris Walker out of the football game as he has a family emergency. Has had to go to Washington, D.C. For North Quincy. Desmond Balot not playing, broke his leg in the Silver Lake game. And the 2 running backs who have done such a great job for North Quincy this year, Mark Cucuzzo is one and Chris Murray the other. They are both out of this football game. Rich Brooks and Evan Kiley will be called on for the major amount of running for the North Quincy Red Raiders. John D'Angelo will be in there as well, and North Quincy has a field goal kicker, and this will be his first game in Pat O'Donoghue, and my goodness, he was putting him through from 45 yards out during the pregame warm-up.
Sure was, Charlie. I guess he was a soccer goalie on the soccer team. The soccer season got over 2 or 3 weeks ago when Kenny talked to him. He's a big fellow. He stands over 6'2". Too bad he wasn't playing all year, but he certainly is a threat. He can pop him, Kenny said, from 40 yards out. I think another thing that's going to help him if they can get that kick. North Quincy's been having trouble in their kickoffs. They haven't been getting any depth on their kickoffs. So if they can get that ball down near the goal line or over the goal line and keep Quincy down inside their 20 on field position when they get that ball, they're going to be better off because most of the teams have been playing and getting the ball back up in the 40-yard line. So he could be a big factor late in the ball game coming up with a field goal if the score is close.
As the 2 teams are waiting the ceremony that is always a tradition here at Thanksgiving. That's the homecoming queens for each school are out on the 50-yard line right now. The principals, Lloyd Hill for Quincy High School, Peter Chisholm for North Quincy out there, along with school committee member Frank Santoro. So they're doing that, and once they get off, then we'll have the toss of the coin, and that'll be coming up. So why don't we take a 30-second timeout and then be back with more football. And the homecoming queens are coming off the field right now. North Quincy in their home uniforms, red jerseys, black pants, white numerals, red helmets. Quincy in their road uniforms of blue and white, and the captains for each team coming out in the field. And referee John Magnarelli will do the coin ceremonies, and Mike Tucker is out there. So let's send it down to Mike Tucker.
Captain Scott would be Mike Ball 50, 77 Matt Work, Evan Kiley 42. All right, before we start today, guys, I want to introduce the other officials. On my left, Mr. Alessandro is the umpire. On the right is Mr. Dacey. He's the line judge. Mr. O'Mara, the back judge. Mr. Milla, the head linesman. Mr. McDonald, the field judge. That clock is official. In case that clock malfunctions, Mr. McDonald will keep the time on the field. All right, guys, all ready to play football today. It's a great day for football, a great rivalry. The captains of your teams and the leaders of your team control your players and have a great day today, okay? All right, Quincy High, you're the visiting team. We have a coin, I'll throw it in the air. If I drop it, we'll do it again. Heads he calls. Heads it is. Your option in the first half. First half or second half?
You want to receive the ball right now.
We want the ball in the first half. Push it back.
Quincy has won the toss. They're going to receive.
Quincy High has won the toss. Defending the North goal that way. Shake hands, guys.
All right, Mike. Thank you much. And
Charlie,
Quincy will go on offense.
Charlie, that's John Magdarelli. He's a Quincy boy from many years ago. He's a referee in charge of all the officials. They picked up 2 extra officials today, a back judge and a field judge, to watch the deep passing and so forth. So the officials will be right on everything today. But John Magdarelli's a great high school official. He played for North Quincy many years ago, and he does a lot of the Super Bowl games and is rated one of the best referees in the business. I'd just like to say, Charlie, this is the 58th game of this series, and this is the 51st game at Veterans Stadium. The first game was here in 1939. They used to, before they put the stands, it used to be called Pathman's Oval. And then before that, they used to play the games down at where the YMCA field is now, the Rotary Field, I guess they call it now, the YMCA field. I remember as a kid, they had canvas all around, and the game was played on Memorial Day. It wasn't played on Thanksgiving Day. So a lot of things have changed since then, but the spirit of this game hasn't changed, and the enthusiasm, North and Quincy, hasn't changed.
Well, the bands from each school, Quincy and North Quincy High School, are underneath the goalposts, and we're going to have both of them playing our national anthem as we pause here at the stadium. No, I think they're going to march out. Let's hold. Yeah. All right. They faked me out here.
Yeah. Charlie, beautiful day here. Just all the colors, all the blues and the whites over on the other side, the red and blacks over here. Just a magnificent sight to see. You couldn't ask for a more beautiful morning. No wind. The stands are filling up now. In another 10 or 15 minutes, it's going to be standing room only. They're going to be packed over into the wall. So you couldn't ask for a better Thanksgiving.
Yep. Quincy coming out to their fight song. Let's run down the lineups for Quincy. It'll be Dan Thackeray and Mike Cavanaugh, the ends in offense. Dwayne Holmes and Pat Neal, the tackles. Mike Tempesta and Graham Shavery, the guards. Scott Buckman, the center. Mike Flavin, 10 touchdown passes on the year, the quarterback. Jason Anderson, the fullback. Mark Bogan will be the tailback. The wingback will be Bill Reardon, and Dave Chapman will be the wide receiver. For the North Quincy Red Raiders, they play a 5-man front. Mark Taylor and Evan Kiley are the ends. Matt Swerk and Adam Strout, the centers, or the tackles rather. Scott Prouty is the nose guard. Linebackers Chris McCallum and Mark Kelleher. At the corners are freshmen Tony Lisciardi and Pat Shea, and the safeties are Rich Brooks and Jason April. So we're waiting for the North Quincy band to come out in the field. So we're getting ready for Quincy, North Quincy. Let's take a 30-second timeout.
We'll get the skill mat.
two teams are just about set. North Quincy huddling up with head coach Ken McPhee, and on the far side, Jack Raymer has sent out his special teams set to receive this kickoff for the Quincy Presidents. 11-minute quarters will be played here on what is a superb day for football. The stands filling up rapidly, but still plenty of room for you, so come on out and enjoy all the great football that you'll watch today here on AM 1300 WJDA, Quincy, Massachusetts. This game being videotaped by Continental Cable, Quincy Community Television. They'll be showing it later on today and in the days to come, as North Quincy will kick it off, defending the goal to our left, the north goal, and Quincy will be defending the goal to our right here in the first quarter. Mark Bogan and Jason Anderson will be the deep men. And as we said, for North Quincy, they have a new kicker, and that is Pat O'Donohue, playing his first varsity game today. He played on the soccer team this year. He was the goaltender, and he can really kick the eyes out of the football. No wind, the flag just hanging across the field, and we are set for football action. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Glad you've joined us. It should be an outstanding game.
And Moms, keep basting that turkey. Keep it ready for us, and the game is over.
O'Donohue with a line drive, and it's going to be fielded at the 15, to the 20, to the 30, and Robbie Kane is brought down at the 32-yard line. The little speedster, Robbie Kane.
Pretty good field position for Quincy, about the 32-yard line, Charlie. Just he ran it well back, but North had it pretty well covered.
Right now for North Quincy, Tom, they have to show their defense. They have to shut down Quincy.
Charlie, absolutely right. North Quincy is the type of team that they let right away. They let teams score on. They've got to shut Quincy down now if they want to stay in this ball game. They can't let them jump out in front. On the other hand, that's just what Quincy wants to do.
Now they shift out of the eye. Anderson goes right. Reardon goes in motion. Pitch to Bogan, trying to cut it into the middle. Bogan up for a couple to the 34-yard line, it looks like. Hit by the middle of the North Quincy line. And it'll be second down. Mark Kelleher on the stop for the Red Raiders. Second down, they give him a yard. 2nd and 9 for the Quincy Presidents.
Charlie, on that play, Quincy just lined up with a wing offset to the left side and pulled the guard. They just stood to North. Here we're coming around that left side, and you down well better stop us. And they're still lined up in that formation.
Wing on the right. Again. Flavin pitch to Bogan. Flag is down. Bogan hit at the line and taken down. Jason April over there on the stop. And Evan Kiley as well, but we do have a penalty flag, and referee John Magnarelli will indicate that North Quincy was offside. That will cost them 5 and give Quincy second down again, and that is a break for Quincy.
It's a break for him.
As North Quincy did a fine job defensively on that pitch.
Well, then Quincy's not fooling around. As I said, they're just lining up heavy left and coming. The only thing they're doing, Bogan isn't trying to sweep wide, Charlie. He's trying to sweep inside in the tackle. He goes wide and then cuts off tackle. And that's a little wrinkle they're trying to work out there.
As they start the clock just underway, first quarter, North Quincy on defense, Quincy on offense, the ball at their own 39-yard line. Flavin with an I formation of Anderson and Bogan. Wing is to the right. Flavin is back to pass. The left-hander looking long, has a receiver, and it is caught at the 25-yard line. First down for Quincy, Dave Chapman with the pass play, and it is a first down for Quincy on a 37-yard pass play.
Charlie, beautiful pass. He threw it up, had plenty of time, play action, fake Bogan inside, step back 2 or 3 steps, and the end just ran down the field. It had good coverage, but he went up and got the football. The North Quincy kid just didn't get up high enough. So here's Quincy down, knocking on the goal line, the 23-yard line.
Now they're working on freshman Tony Lisciardi, who's played well this year, but he was on the coverage. Bogan gets the pitch, looking to turn the corner east of a 20 and dragged down from behind at the 19-yard line. And on the stop for the Red Raiders, Jason April. Matt Swerk also over there to help out.
See what Bogan did that time. They worked it as that he was going inside the end, and then all of a sudden he scooted to the outside and tried to outrun the end, but he was brought down. A great effort by the defense of North.
Pick up a 5, second down for the Presidents. Chapman is right, Reardon wing right, Bogan and Anderson behind, handoff to Anderson, trying to get by the line. He does not, as he tried to take it sideways and was stopped by Adam Stroud, who got him in the backfield for a loss of a yard.
Charlie, Quincy came back with their fake pitch left and their counter trap right, and the North Quincy linebacker and the tackle was sitting right in there waiting for it. So they've seen that play. I'm sure they practiced against it. So that's going to be a hard one to come back. But that's Quincy's bread and butter, and they're going to stick with it.
Chapman is wide to the right. Flavin rolling out to the right, looking, throws it out, has a man, and it is complete to Reardon at the 9-yard line. Don't they say he dropped it as he hit the ground.
Wow, that was a break for North, but it looked like to me he had that ball going down. But they executed. That was a rollout pass with the tight end and the 2 lead backs out in the flat, and they executed it perfectly. They had him wide open.
As we take a look at it on the replay, it looked like he had it, but juggled it on the way down. So incompleted pass, and it is 4th down and 6 for Quincy with the ball at the North Quincy 20-yard line.
It was a tough break for Quincy. It looked like they were going to be right down on that 10-yard line.
As the backs are split, obvious passing situation, 2 wideouts right, 1 left. Flavin looking, now throws it long, looking for the end zone, and he overthrows Dave Chapman, his wide receiver, and Flavin got a seat on the turf at Veterans Memorial Stadium as he was put down by Chris McCallum. North holds, they'll take it at their own 20, just underway. First quarter, we're scoreless, and we'll take a 30-second timeout. One play has been run as quarterback Mark Taylor pitched it to Rich Brooks, who tried the halfback option pass, or Mark Kelleher up at the 40-yard line, and it was well over his head.
Charlie, he just couldn't get it. Kelleher just couldn't get downfield. He started downfield straight. I think it was supposed to be just a streak pass. He was so well covered. Then he made a square out to the sideline, and the passer threw a streak pass. So it didn't work. But it was a good play to open up with.
2nd and 10. Mark Taylor calling signals. Now he sends Kiley in motion to the right. And the pitch to Brooks. Brooks is in trouble and taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Graham Chevery at the 17-yard line. For North Quincy, their wide receivers, Don Anderson, Pat Shea, Jason Buckley, they will alternate. Left tackle, Pat Flaherty, Mike Oliver, the left guard, Matt Swark, the center, Adam Strout, right guard, Mark Zitch, the right tackle, Mark Kelleher is the tight end. Mark Taylor, 10 touchdown passes, same as Mike Flavin, the quarterback. Evan Kiley, the fullback. Rich Brooks is the tailback, and John D'Angelo will be at the wing. We'll introduce the Quincy defense in just a moment. It is 3rd down and 12. Double wing formation, wide out right ball, right hash mark. Taylor calling signals, hands it off, fakes handing off to D'Angelo. Now throws it out complete to the 30, to the 34, to the 38, and to the 39-yard line. Mark Kelleher, first down for the North Quincy Red Raiders, as he was brought down by Ali Sleeman, who was one of the linebackers for Quincy, along with Mike Cavanaugh and Graham Chevery. The front 4 for Quincy, Sean Kennedy and Dave Chapman at the ends, Keith Norris and Dave Fry, the tackles. And at the corner, you have John O'Connor, Mark Bogan, and Bill Reardon.
Charlie, great play-action fake. He faked inside, then he rolled out. He was almost caught by the Quincy defense, shook one man off his shoulder, and get rid of the ball beautifully. So it was a timely pass for North Quincy. Quincy's jumping in out of a 4- and 5-man line now, shooting out linebackers, trying to keep North blocking.
Taylor on the handoff to Brooks. Brooks gets 2, maybe 3, up to about the 42-yard line before being brought down by a host of Quincy defenders. Mike Cavanaugh on the stop. They spot it just shy of the 43-yard line. 6:32 to go, first quarter. We are scoreless. North Quincy with the ball, moving from left to right here in the first quarter.
Charlie, that big Quincy line is moving across that line of scrimmage, so North has got to use every trick they've got in the book to get their plays on.
Brooks is out of the ball game. 3 wide receivers are out to the right, but they give it to Kiley. Kiley with a hole at the 50, 40, on his feet to the 30. One man to beat, but Evan Kiley is bumped out of bounds by Mark Bogan at about the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the North Quincy Red Raiders. They mark it at the 25-yard line.
That's what I was saying. They got to give that ball. I think I said it pregame. They're going to give that ball to Kiley more. It wasn't an inside plunge. It was just a little slant off tackle, and he just beat the end to the outside and went down that sideline. One man to beat.
All the misdirection was to the right with the three receivers, and Kiley just scooted down the left sideline.
You're going to see a lot of him today, I think.
35-yard pickup for Kiley. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders as Taylor calls signals, handoff in the end around to Brooks. Brooks falls forward to about the 23-yard line. Gain of a couple for Quincy. John O'Connor, one of the corners, making the stop. Also Dave Chapman helping out. Gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Golly, the way those linebackers are stunning for Quincy, what's going to happen is either they're going to make a long gain or Quincy's going to stuff them in the backfield because they're trying to foul up North's blocking, and they'll do it 50-60% of the time. But when they do break one, it could be a long one. So it's a gamble. Both teams are gambling.
Now Brooks will line up at the right wing, double wing. Kiley, lone man in the backfield behind Taylor, wide out. Hand off to Kiley again. This time he cuts inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. He was grabbed and brought down by Sean Kennedy, defensive end.
Picked up about 5, didn't he, Charlie?
Yep,
yeah.
and it'll be 3rd down and 3. We have 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go in this first quarter, scoreless. Quincy and North Quincy.
As you said, North is putting a load. They got both tailbacks, Shaughnessy and Kakuzo are both out, so it's on Brooks' shoulder.
Yep, Brooks and Kiley, 2 receivers. To the right, Taylor looking to throw, looking for one of them, has his man complete to the 10, and down to the 9-yard line is Pat Shea.
1st down, too.
1st down, North Quincy, as the sophomore hauls it in. Bill Reardon making the stop for the Presidents. Robbie Kane also over there to help out. Kane getting work today as Chris Walker out of the football game with family emergency.
That doesn't help.
Nope. So both teams missing key people. It's 1st and goal at the 9. Taylor with Kiley and Brooks behind him. He gives it to Brooks. Brooks trying to turn the corner, puts his head down, gets to about the 6-yard line. 3 very difficult yards for Rich Brooks.
Same play that Kiley ran before to that left side. Only time anything different this time is that Brooks had the ball. So they're working on that left side, that short side. Just they're unbalanced right, so they're just trying to work that short side in between the short end and the tackle over that side. They just slant in there. Won't be a touchdown, but they'll pick up 3 or 4 yards every crack on it. 2nd
down and goal from the 6-yard line. Double wing formation. D'Angelo and Brooks hand off to Kiley. Kiley goes left side. He's inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. Again, they are working to the left side, Tom, in this football game. They have gone against the right side of the Quincy defensive line.
Yeah, well, I don't think, I think it's just they like that play, and it's a hard adjustment to Quincy to move. But Quincy moves a whole man over, or they move an extra man over, then they're leaving the strong side with one less man. So there's a timeout for North. Quincy's got to dig in right now.
With 3:23 to go in this first quarter, we are scoreless, and we'll take a 30-second timeout. Mike Tucker.
Well, Charlie, a lot of surprises here. Kenny's come out and pull out all stops on this ball game. But the big thing is in this game, it's been a running attack by the whole Old Colony League, and Quincy's not used to defending the pass. And Mark Taylor has over 2,000 yards passing this year, so it's going to be very interesting morning.
All right, we'll see what happens as North Quincy with the 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Taylor with Brooks, the tailback. He gives it to Brooks. Brooks submarines his way. He is down close to the end zone. He is shy. So it's going to be 4th and goal from the 1, and let's see if North will try and punch it in.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it.
It's early in the ball game, Charles. They want to get down. They want to get 6 points or 7 points on their board right away. Quincy's got to really dig in now. They've got themselves in the hole. As we just said earlier, the passing has hurt Quincy a little bit. They got to adjust to this play action type passing.
So it all comes down to the Quincy defense trying to stop North. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, but I think they're going to hand it off. Taylor calling signals now, man in motion to the right, and they give it to Kiley. Kiley is in for the touchdown. As Evan Kiley with the touchdown, 2:34 to go in the first quarter. Kiley with a 1-yard run, and North Quincy draws first blood, leading 6-0 over the Quincy Presidents. As everybody went to the right and they ran it left, and Evan Kiley with the touchdown.
Yeah, they sent all the motion to the right, but they still came back with that short side play and just ran it, bowled it right up there. Just got over that goal line.
Pat O'Donohue with Liam Higgins at the hold, and it is blocked and taken by Quincy and run back to the 10-yard line. They can return a blocked kick, but they are stopped at the 10. Teams come back upfield. 2:34 to go, first quarter. It is 6-0 North Quincy, and we'll take a 30-second break. The two teams come back getting set for the kickoff. It is 6-0. The North Quincy Red Raiders with the lead over the Presidents of Quincy. And somewhat of a surprise to some people, I'm sure, Tom, that North Quincy coming out and scoring on their first possession.
Yeah, well, that's what the North Quincy wanted to do. They didn't want Quincy to get that first jump, but Charlie, Quincy, as I say, they're a little bit shaky on that pass defense, and that play action throws them off. But as the game goes on, I'm sure Quincy will pick it up and become more proficient on that pass defense. So North got a break there, but Quincy's got a lot of weapons that they're going to come right back, and they're going to show those weapons to North Quincy.
Evan Kiley with his 3rd touchdown on the year. He has 22 points on the season. And we'll have the kickoff as Pat O'Donohue will kick it off to Bogan and Kane, and it's a high end over end. Kane is going to field it at the 15, looking for some room to the 20, 25, still on his feet to the 30-yard line. That's where he's brought down. It'll be 1st and 10. Brendan O'Connell on the stop for North Quincy. 1st and 10 for the Presidents at their own 30-yard line.
Now Quincy's got to go to work. Let's see, they're going to see that offense go to work now. I'm sure they're going to pick it up at pace. And you're going to see Quincy throw that football a little bit, too. They can throw, don't get me wrong. We know that. They'll go to the running game. As you just saw, they threw a nice pass in that first series. So if Quincy's running game bogs down, they go to the pass, and they'll keep you off balance.
Quincy lines up I slot, or more of a wishbone, actually, as they pitch it to Reardon. Reardon cutting outside 30, 35, looking for a hole, 40, 45, east to the 50, and run out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. And did I see a penalty flag thrown in over there?
Something went on over that field over there.
And, yep, and now we've got both teams over there. The entire North Quincy squad and the officials are getting them out of there, as we had some extracurricular.
They ran into the Quincy bench on the sideline. I don't know what they called over there. I don't know if he was going to call a penalty carrying the tackle on the sideline, but a lot of Quincy players jumped around, and whether somebody did something or not, I'm not sure, but emotions are very high. It looks like he's facing
the personal foul. North Quincy was.
That's what it looks like now.
As
bad break. Good break for Quincy.
As Quincy with the break, and Yeah, I think simply just watching it on the replay, just piling on by North Quincy after the play was run out of bounds. So the ball goes down to the North Quincy 33-yard line, as Quincy with a good run by
happened?
Reardon, and then 15 tacked onto it on the penalty.
So it goes from the 30 to the other 30. That's just, it's kind of a bad penalty right there.
Bogan goes in motion, handoff to Anderson. Anderson, the ball is fumbled. Big pile, I believe, North Quincy. North Quincy's got the ball. Anderson coughed it up, and Mark Taylor recovered for the Red Raiders. So North Quincy with the football as Jason Anderson fumbled, and with 2:07 to go in this first quarter, it is 6-0 North Quincy with the lead, and they will go on offense.
That's Charlie. That's what we're saying. Anything can happen in this ball game. Quincy had a nice field position, nice pass, picked up that penalty, and then the ball just seemed to just pop. He made 5 yards, and it just seemed to slip or pop right out of Jason Anderson's hand, and it was a North Quincy kid just picked it right up. So it's Quincy now on the defense again.
And they would like to keep North Quincy in their own territory, keep them down, as Taylor hands off to Kiley. Kiley puts the helmet down, gets to about the 33-yard line. Goes Evan Kiley for a couple, and it'll be second down. And for the Quincy Presidents on the coverage, Ali Sleeman.
Yeah, there's that Sleeman kid again. Boy, he's every game I bring his name up, and he's a great linebacker.
It'll be second down and 8 for North Quincy with 1:37 to go in this first quarter. 6-0 Red Raiders lead the Presidents. One man in the backfield, 3 receivers are to the right. Taylor drops back looking to throw, setting up over the middle, has Anderson complete at the 40 and gets to the 42-yard line, as he was covered by Robbie Kane, and Kane tripped him up, and Anderson with the completion, and that will be another first down.
Nice spot pass, Charlie. The 3 receivers over here, and he just went inside and just hooked back, and he hit him right just behind the linebackers. Short yardage pass, a safe pass. Yeah, beautifully executed, but Quincy was right on him.
Robbie Kane getting the start today with Chris Walker not playing, so North Quincy working on Robbie Kane. But he did a good job on coverage and brought him down. But it is a first down, North Quincy at their own 42-yard line. I formation. Handoff goes to Brooks. Brooks up to the 45 and taken down at that point by David Fry of the Presidents. And Bill Reardon also in on the coverage. It'll be second down. Gain of 4, second and 6. 35 seconds to go, probably one more play in this first quarter. As North Quincy comes out of the huddle. See if they keep both backs at home. They do. They send a wide out left side. Taylor calling signals. I formation. D'Angelo, the wing right, hand off to Kiley, straight ahead, 50 to the 47, and brought down there. It'll be another North Quincy first down, and the stop made by Keith Norris for the Presidents. First down, North Quincy.
They sent Kiley right up the middle. He faked like he was going to drop back for a pass, and if you want to call it a shot, kind of a draw play, and he just gave it to Kiley, and Kiley get into that 5 yards, and he bowled over a couple of people in the secondary. He's a strong runner.
And that's the end of the first quarter at the stadium. It is 6-0 North Quincy. We'll take a 60-second break. Back here at the stadium, it is 6-0 North Quincy with the lead. And let's go down to Mike Tucker for his comments on that first quarter. Mike?
Well, Charlie, this whole first quarter, it's been all North Quincy. They have 5 first downs to 2 of Quincy. The story has been Evan Kiley, 46 yards. We haven't seen this North Quincy team at home in the past 3 weeks. And Kiley has been the new running back, has done a great job, as you've seen so far this morning. And also Mark Taylor has really performed really well at quarterback.
All right, Mike, thank you much. And so far, it has been all North Quincy in this football game, aside from a long Quincy pass. And Quincy's defense looking to stop this North Quincy offense.
Charlie, this place is packed now. There's hardly a seat available, standing room around both walls. So we got a capacity crowd here this morning.
First down and 10. Kiley in motion. Quincy moves. They get back. Taylor pitches to Brooks. Brooks breaks one tackle to the 45, down to the 42-yard line. Brooks nearly taken down back at the 48-yard line behind the line of scrimmage, but was able to break free and pick up 4 yards.
The Quincy tackle broke through and just got brooked by the jersey, but he was able to shake it off and spin and get another 3 or 4 yards. So those backs are running hard, but Quincy's getting great penetration.
Don Anderson, Pat Shea, Jason Buckley alternating at receiver. Buckley in right now. He will split wide left. The ball is right hash mark. Kelleher, the tight end right. Brooks will wing right. D'Angelo left. Kiley, the fullback behind Taylor. Looking at a 7-man Quincy front. Taylor looking to throw, looking long, looking for his man, and it is batted up and incomplete and out of bounds. Nice. Robbie Kane on the coverage, Jason Buckley, the intended receiver.
Charlie, it was a bootleg pass out the backside, what we used to call a waggle pass, away from formation, and the end went, the back went straight down the field, but there was great coverage on him. He just threw that ball high and lofted it, and there was great coverage by the Bobby Kane, the Quincy defender. They both went up, and he knocked it away. Beautiful pass, though. Beautiful execution, a great defensive play. So we're seeing some outstanding football out here this morning.
Third down for North Quincy, 3rd and 5 for the Red Raiders. The ball at the Quincy 41-yard line. North Quincy defending the south goal, moving from right to left as we look out of our broadcast location.
Watch for a screen here, Charlie. I think they might see a screen pass here.
Back split receivers left and right. Taylor calling signals. Quincy looking to come. And looking over the middle for Brooks, complete to the 35-yard line. First down, North Quincy. Bill Reardon on the stop for Quincy. So right now, North Quincy seems to have the answer every time they need a first down.
I was expecting a screen, but that was just that little safety pass right over behind the linebackers, just hooked inside. But the way Quincy was coming, you're going to see that North will be throwing some screen passes here before long. So Quincy doesn't get a hold of that football. Quincy's got to get a hold of that ball and get some offensive going.
First down and 10. Taylor, handoff to Kiley. Kiley back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Graham Chevery in there on the stop. Also over to help out for Quincy, it was Mike Cavanaugh. It'll be second down and a yard.
That's what Quincy has to do. They have to dig in and show North who's boss out here. They got the bigger, stronger team out there, so they've got to, they got to use that power, and they've got to start overpowering that North Quincy line and get into that backfield and not give Taylor time to throw that ball. So Quincy's got their work cut out for him.
On second down, wide out is Pat Shea to the right. Anderson is left. Backs are split. Taylor calling signals. 7-man fronts movement in the Quincy line. They get back. Taylor back, looking out over the middle, has his man complete to the 15 and down to about the 12-yard line. It'll be another North Quincy first down over the middle.
Beautiful executed pass. Taylor's really on the ball this morning. He just stepped there. He looked like the best pro you want to see in the NFL. He just stepped back there, set up, and that receiver just cut across into the safety, and he hit him right on the numbers.
As Kelleher hauled in the pass, the junior tight end over the middle. Bogan missed the tackle, and it was either Kane or Reardon that took him down, but North Quincy in business again at the Quincy 12, 1st and 10. 3 receivers are to the right, hand off to Kiley, breaks the tackle, he's 10, 5, touchdown! Evan Kiley, 12-yard run. And North Quincy is up 12-0 over the Quincy Presidents. 8:24 to go in the second quarter. And Tom, once again, it was that same formation that resulted in a big gainer for North Quincy earlier with the receivers one side and they ran to the other.
Yeah, there really isn't good blocking on that play. He just hit the end on his own, and the end just couldn't hold on to him. He just overpowered him, and of course there was no linebacker coming over. So when he got by that end and overpowered that end, he just hot-footed right in the end zone. So it's a power-type play to the short side. And they've been running that most of the day.
as North Quincy trying to decide. I think they may be going for the 2 points
they got that kicker too, Charlie. I don't know. But they missed that first one, so they probably want to pick that extra point up at this point in the ball game.
Taylor meeting with Ken McPhee along with Rich Brooks and Don Anderson. They're all hunted around D'Angelo over there as well. And North Quincy is going to ask for timeout. So there is timeout on the field. 8:24 to go in the first half. North Quincy leading Quincy 12-0. We'll take 30 seconds. As timeout still on the field, it is a silent full stands over on the far side as Quincy coming in at 7-1-1, North Quincy at 4-5. And right now, North Quincy is giving it to Quincy as the Presidents have not been able to get anything going offensively, and North is taking it in on 2 Evan Kiley touchdowns.
Well, I think if my memory serves me right, Quincy's only run about 6 or 7 running plays. They had 3 on the first one and didn't score and had to get rid of it. And then they had 2 running plays and they coughed the ball up. So I think it's only 5, maybe 6 times that they've had the football in this game. So they've been playing defense.
They're going for the 2 receivers to the right. Double wing formation. Kiley, lone man in the backfield. Taylor calling signals. Play action fake. Looking in the end zone. Corner in the end zone. Complete for the 2 points to Mark Kelleher. And Kelleher with the 2-point conversion as he just got in the end zone. And it is 14-0 as the North Quincy Red Raiders have stretched their lead. And we'll take a 30-second timeout and be back with more. Thank you much, John Nicholson, back at the WJDA football scoreboard. He'll be keeping you posted all throughout the day. There was a penalty on Quincy, and so North Quincy is going to kick this from the 45-yard line. So Quincy will probably not get too much of a return unless they kick it short, and they kick it into the end zone, and Kane is going to let it go, and boy, that almost died at the 1-yard line, but it just went in.
Yes, took that little slow roll into the end zone. It could have been right on that 1-yard line, but he can kick that football. He's a weapon that Kenny picked up, and that's what North Quincy wanted. Now, Quincy's got this football now, and they've got to get to work. They've got to get that offense going, and they've got to get some confidence back and start running Bogan and Jason Anderson and getting their passing attack going. So let's see what they can do now. I'm sure they're going to come back and they're gonna go right after North Quincy.
Yep, and they can do it. Think back about the Bridgewater Raynham game. They were losing 14-0 and came back to tie the football game. Pitch to Bogan. Bogan in trouble in the backfield. He is taken down at about the 18-yard line as Bogan was in trouble from the start. And Scott Prouty, along with Mark Taylor, brought him down for a loss of, they mark it at the 19.
You know, that North Quincy line and the end of the tackle and the cornerback, or rather there was some penetration, I think, by the tackle, and the end held him up, and he kept it inside, and the linebacker come up with support, cornerback, and they played the play beautiful. So, but Quincy's still got to stay at it. This is their game, and they got to get it going.
Second down and 11. As
Quincy's got everybody up on that line, Charlie. They got to watch for the pass.
Flavin pitch to Bogan. Bogan breaks away from one, gets over the 20 to about the 21-yard line as he fought off Kelleher, but was brought down by Jason April. So it'll be third down, gain of a couple, 3rd and 9 for Quincy.
Now that's got to be careful. They had everybody up. You can't pack that whole line up and not leave any value up back there because you're real susceptible to a pass on second down, and so they got to be careful. On the other hand, Quincy's going to spot that, and they're going to burn them if they don't watch it.
3rd and 9 as the Presidents and twin receivers to the right. Fahey is out wide, back split. Now Bogan goes in motion right, just one back in the backfield. Flavin looking to throw, has the time, has the protection. Left-hander puts it up, and it is complete. No, incomplete. Knocked away, and what a play by North Quincy as Rich Brooks and Jason April. I think it was April that absolutely separated the ball from Dan Thackeray.
He had the ball in his hands, Charlie, but they both come a crack, and one hit him high and one hit him low, and that ball just popped out of his hands. It was a great hit. I don't think a pro could have hung onto that ball the way he was hit there. It was a nice pass right in his hands.
As he was really nailed. I thought he had the ball, and then it was knocked away.
He just was nailed.
As you're watching on the replay, you're right, Tom, high and low, and now Quincy is going to punt. And they get it out to the 50, and it will be down by Quincy at the North 49 with 6:40 to go in the first half. It is North 14, Quincy nothing. We'll take a 30-second break. They've had it 14-0 as Taylor calls signals. Wide out right side, ball right hash mark, line of scrimmage, their own 49-yard line, hand off to Brooks. Brooks in trouble behind the line of scrimmage and taken down as the Presidents doing a good job defensively that time. Sean Kennedy.
They're making an adjustment now, Charlie. That's the same play with which they ran for the touchdown. They gave it to Brooks that time, but Quincy's making a little adjustment. They're getting used to it, so you can't kill a good thing too much. So they might go away from it a little bit now. But I think if anybody runs that play, it should be Kiley because he's a little stronger. He can overpower that end.
Second down and 10. Brooks and Kiley in the backfield, twins to the right. Taylor. Pitch to Brooks. He's looking to throw. The halfback option. Passer Kelleher complete at the 35-yard line against Robbie Kane and Mark Bogan. Kelleher hauls in the pass. Second pass for Brooks. That time it was successful. And North Quincy with a first down at the Quincy 35-yard line.
That time, Charlie, the receiver didn't go deep. He squared out, went about 15 yards and squared out at the sideline, and he hit him perfect. Nice pass for a halfback, I'll tell you. That just brought that whole secondary up and looking for the sweep, and he just hit him perfect. Well-executed play.
Quincy looking for an answer. Coach Jack Raymer on the far side yelling in at his defense. 1st and 10, 5.5 to go. First half, 14-0 North Quincy. Hand off to Kiley, straight ahead, trying to fight off some blocks. And he is brought down. Dave Fry making the stop as Fry hung on for dear life.
Fry did a beautiful job then. He came right in. He just met that play. He had a stunt going inside the offensive tackle, guard and center, and that's just what Kiley ran. And he just met him right at the line of scrimmage and put the wood to him. So Kiley didn't get much on that play.
Anderson and Buckley in the ball game. They are both going to line up wide to the right along with Pat Shea. Again, 3 receivers. Kiley lone man in the backfield. This play has been a run left with the receivers right before, but this time they go back to pass. Taylor looking, has a man, but he underthrows him a little bit, intended for Jason Buckley. As Buckley turned, I think the sun may have gotten in his eyes, and it falls incomplete, and it will be 4th down for the North Quincy Red Raiders. The ball at the Quincy 34.
Just threw the ball to the outside, and he was looking at the inside, then he had a turn, and the ball was just overthrown a little bit. But Quincy's putting on a tough rush now. Quincy line is really getting pumped up here, and there's some real blocking and defensive work going on down there. So that's the grunts in the line are really working on both teams down there.
3rd down and 9. Again, same formation with Kiley lone back. Hand off to Kiley. Draw play 30 down to the 27-yard line. He's going to be shy of first down yardage. And they mark it at the 27.
See what happened then, Charlie? I told you about that quick penetration from Quincy. They come across that line of scrimmage so fast, Charlie, that they went right by Kiley. He just gave a quick, like a quick draw play, and he went right by the linebackers coming in. So that's why he picked up yardage. Nobody got him until he got in the secondary.
Timeout on the field. It's 14-0 North Quincy with 4:11 to go in the first half, and we'll take a 30-second break. Down, and Mike Tucker is down on the sideline right by the huddle, and Mike can eavesdrop a little bit.
Yeah, what Kenny is telling them just to keep their cool, especially don't be offside on this. This is a big play right now that they can really push Quincy to the brink if they can score a touchdown right now.
Yeah, they're not going to go for the field goal as O'Donohue stays. He's right by you there, Mike, so they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, they're going to go for it right now.
Charlie, they're only going to do one or two things. They're going to throw the ball, deep in the end zone, or you might see a quick turn in or a screen. I think that Quincy now is going to come hard, so I think North might look to, they have quite a variation of screen passes, so I kind of look for that now. But Quincy's really got to dig in. They've got to shut it down. There's a lot of pressure on Quincy right now.
Same formation, Buckley, Anderson, Shea, all right. Kiley, lone man in the backfield. Now Shea splits even further wide as Taylor looking to throw, setting up a screen pass complete to Kelleher. 30, 25, 20 down to the 19-yard line. First down for North Quincy at the Quincy 19-yard line as Mark Kelleher all alone down the left sideline with the play.
Charlie, that was a fullback screen. The fullback set up inside, blocked. The 3 linemen on the left side set up, block 1, 2, 3, and then moved to the outside, and then the fullback moved from the inside over, and Taylor just dropped the ball right over on a beautiful screen to the left side.
Mark Taylor playing the game of the year for him, transfer student from Braintree. He stayed in Braintree. His team would be 0-9 today,
so.
but
He's
going to be having a good time.
Play again.
Hand off to Kiley. He's to the 15 and down to the 14-yard line. Kavanaugh and Sleeman making the stop for the Presidents. And North Quincy right now, you would almost say the jerseys have been switched, and North Quincy was the 7-win team, and Quincy was the 4-win team.
Sure have. Quincy hasn't just had a chance to get anything going. North just dominated this first half, but this game is far from being over yet. A lot of things can happen.
Absolutely.
Ball game, so don't start counting Quincy.
Believe me, I'm not Quincy.
But I don't mean you or anybody. They're too good a football team to lay over and play dead right now, but they had been in a hole, and they had work cut out for them.
They need a good defense here. Brooks puts the head down at the 15 and gets nothing as Kavanaugh with the stop for Quincy. And
I wonder if they're looking for that field goal, Charlie, because they keep trying to get that ball, maybe move it out to the middle. Was it 3rd down now? Maybe move it out to the middle. Try for the touchdown, but maybe move it out to the middle and then set up the field goal for this new fellow here. What's his name?
Pat O'Donohue.
Pat O'Donohue.
And we'll see what they do if they run it. He was putting them through from 45 yards out in the pregame warm-up. Again, the same formation that's done so much for them today. 3 wideouts right. Kiley, lone man in the backfield behind Taylor. Now Kiley goes in motion right, no back. Pass play complete to Kiley, and he is hit at the 20 and taken down.
Great defensive play over there by Quincy. Great defensive play.
It was Bill Reardon.
Bill Reardon. He picked that out. There's a flat pass right over on the side, and Reardon was right there. He smelled that coming, and he put the wood right to him. He couldn't take 2 right on the line of scrimmage. So here's that big 4th down now, Charlie.
Yep, and Reardon, best play of the day for Quincy as he was on Kiley and went for him and put him down. And now the ball back at the 20. and it'll be 4th down. It's 4th and 12. And they are going to go for it with Liam Higgins to hold. Pat O'Donohue, he's been the goaltender on the soccer team all year. He puts it down at the 23. It'll be a 33-yard field goal with a slight wind at his back.
It's under pressure this time, though, Charlie.
Sidewinder puts the ball down. The kick is up long enough, high enough. It hits the bar and goes in. It hit the crossbar and fell over.
Oh, my God.
So Pat O'Donohue with the field goal, and it is 17-0 as North Quincy stretches the lead with 1:25 to go here in the first half, and we'll take a 30-second timeout.
How far from was that?
All right, let's hold it right here as Pat O'Donohue with the field goal. A 44-yarder.
Huh? Wow.
And he hits it, and 17-0, and with 1:25 to go, Quincy will get the football, and it couldn't have been any closer than that, hitting the crossbar and falling over. As I remember the game with this week, the pros, the Bears in Denver, where was it Neil Anderson for the Bears? He hit the bar, he hit the goalpost flush, and it came down. But that hit the bar, and he got the roll.
Charlie, I was just going to say before he kicked it, listen, it's all right kicking in practice with no pressure on you, but here he had a kick, you know, with that whole Quincy line coming at him, and I was just going to say it's a lot different when you got to keep your head down and not think of that line, especially when you haven't been a football player, and if this is the first time he's been on a football field, to keep his head down and concentrate and kick that ball. But he sure did. They took the right bounce for North Quincy. Let's see what Quincy can do now.
Bogan and Kane will await O'Donohue's kick as he lines it low on the ground. Bogan feels it at the 20, up the middle of the field, to the 30, 35, looking for a hole. He's to the 40, and down at the 42-yard line goes Mark Bogan. And Quincy will have it 1st and 10 in good field position with 1:19 to go in this first half. And North Quincy with a 17-0 lead. That's right, North Quincy with a 17-0 lead over the Quincy Presidents.
Don't kid yourself, Charlie. You just saw what Bogan can do. He just ran that ball. If you get him on the outside and you give him an inch, he'll be in that end zone. So don't count Quincy out yet. North's got to play defense, and Quincy's going to start moving this football, I'm sure. 2
right, 1 left. Flavin back to throw, rushes on, rolls out of the pocket. Left-hander throws it up the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Intended for John Fahey at the 42-yard line. There were 2 receivers at the same spot. Fahey along with Dave Chapman. So it's incomplete. It'll be 2nd down, 1:10 to go on the clock.
A lot of pressure on the quarterback then. He had to really scramble to get outside, and by the time he got it off, the receivers are out of their patterns, and it was just a hard pass to complete. But he can throw that football, too. He's a threat.
Flavin looks left, looks right. 3 down linemen for North Quincy. Hands it off to Bogan. Bogan puts the head down, gets to the 46-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down. Hitting the middle of the North Quincy line. Kelleher on the stop, and Quincy will take timeout with 1:01 to go in this first half. And let's go down to Mike Tucker down on the sideline, who had a bird's eye view of that field goal by Pat O'Donohue.
Well, if you like to say the luck of the Irish, that kick hit the crossbar and just went over. The whole crowd was at a hush when that happened, and it went over, and everything's been going. That's how the whole half's been going. It's been all North Quincy, as they have run up a 17-0 score. They've got 9 first downs to just 2 of Quincy, and that's been the whole story of the first half, Charlie.
Okay, Mike, and Mike will be trying to speak with both coaches as they go into the locker room at halftime.
Charlie, just looking down here at this, what a great crowd down here. A beautiful day for a ball game. The crowd is packed right back to the cement wall on the North Quincy side, and every seat in the place is taken, standing on the sideline. What a beautiful setting. What a great ball game we're seeing as far as North Quincy. But let's watch Quincy come back here now.
3rd and 5, receivers left and right. Flavin looking, rushes on, rolls out of the pocket, in trouble, throws on the run, and incomplete. Nearly hit Mark Bogan at the 29-yard line. Bogan went up and tried to make a one-handed catch, but we've got a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage, and referee John Magnarelli will indicate personal foul against North Quincy. And we did not see it. It was after Flavin threw the ball. I think maybe he got a lick on him after he got rid of it. Was thrown in that general direction. So that will give Quincy 15 yards and set them up in good field position.
Now it's a matter of the clock too. That's a good penalty for Quincy.
The ball will go to the 39-yard line with 52 seconds, so plenty of time for the Presidents. And right now they need to get on the board as they trail by 17.
They got to get a lift psychologically to get them up and get on that board and get back in this football game. They're too good a football team to be off that board this late in the ball game.
Bogan and Thackeray are wide to the right. Here comes the rush. Screen pass complete to Reardon at the 40, 35, and is tripped up. And another penalty flag thrown in. The stop by Brendan O'Connell of North Quincy, but we've got a penalty flag thrown.
Another one.
And this may be against North Quincy.
Yeah.
As referee John Magnarelli has yet to indicate. And now North Quincy calls a timeout, so let's hold it here with 44 seconds as they come this way. And it's another personal foul against North Quincy, and Coach Ken McPhee has taken a timeout, and he's got to settle his troops down. But Quincy has gotten 30 yards by virtue of 2 personal foul penalties in a row, and they are in business, 1st and 10 at the North 19-yard line.
Kenny must be ripping now because the penalties like that really hurt you, and Kenny must be really telling these kids to control their emotions, and I don't know what they're for. I couldn't pick up what the penalties are actually for. It might have been late hits, I don't know. But, you know, you've got to keep your emotions might be up there, but you got to keep your body and your mind under control. So a great break for Quincy, so they're knocking on the door just inside the 19-yard line. So anything can happen. We got about, 44 seconds on the clock. So Quincy wants to get that ball in there.
And we'll have news coming up at halftime from Joe Catalano. John Nicholson back at the football scoreboard. He'll keep us up to date with some of the other Thanksgiving Day games. Williams leading over Cardinal Spellman in their game. Pitch to Bogan. Bogan trying to sweep right side, 20 on his feet, 15, 10, penalty flag down. Bogan is bounced out of bounds.
That sweep, and he got outside that time.
And we'll see what they call. He got out of bounds at about the 10-yard line, but another penalty flag was thrown.
It looks like against Quincy this time. I wouldn't be surprised for a clip, Charlie, or a hold.
Hold, yep. It is holding against Quincy, so it'll wipe out the Mark Bogan run. And it'll be 1st down and 20 after the penalty is assessed. Bob Noble telling Mike Flavin what he wants.
Tough break for Quincy there because they had that ball. What he's about on the 5-6 yard line. He ran it in.
Yep.
So this is going to hurt Quincy now. Tough break.
The ball goes back to the 24-yard line on the holding penalty with 35 seconds to go in this first half. 17-0 North Quincy with the lead. The ball at the 24. Quincy moving north to south, left to right in this second quarter as they send Thackeray out wide right along with Bogan. That's the ball at the right hash mark.
This is quick end.
Flavin over the middle for Chapman, and it is incomplete.
Charlie, that was that quick pass to the tight end.
Yep.
And North Quincy just held that end up, and I'm sure they've been working on that because that's a bread and butter play with Quincy. But they just held him at the line of scrimmage. The ball was thrown. He only could get 2 steps off of the line.
Timing pattern.
Yeah, timing pattern. Just a quick pass to the tight end is called. That's all. But they held him right on the line. So here we got Quincy coming up now with a 2nd down.
2nd and 15, 33 seconds to go. Bogan and Thackeray split wide to the left. Flavin with Anderson in the backfield. Reardon wing left. Chapman tight right. Flavin goes back, has the time. Here comes the rush, gets it away, has the man in the end zone. Touchdown, penalty flags. But it's going to be interference against North Quincy. Dan Thackeray. Yeah. It'll be a touchdown.
I think so.
There are 3 penalty flags, and but Thackeray was able to break away from the defender who obviously had held him. Thackeray with the touchdown. The pass interference declined. Touchdown, Quincy. And the Presidents are on the board with 25 seconds to go in this first half. A 24-yard pass to Dan Thackeray. And Quincy now trails 17-6. And let's see what the Presidents do as they huddle up. Not sure if they called the timeout or not. I did not see an indication. Yep, they have called
timeout. Yeah, looks like it.
Timeout as Flavin goes over to talk to Bob Noble, who's done a superb job this year as the offensive coordinator. 25 seconds to go. First half, 17-6. Quincy is on the board. And timeout as North Quincy calls timeout. And we'll take a 30-second break with our score. North Quincy 17, Quincy 6. As North Quincy calling timeout. Quincy on the board on a 24-yard touchdown pass from Mike Flavin to Dan Thackeray, a senior wide receiver.
Charlie, he was pushed on that play too. There was interference, and even though he was being pushed, he went up and brought that ball down. Beautiful hands brought it down, and Flavin threw a pass right in his hand. So beautiful execution on Quincy's part. Now it looks like they're going for the 2.
Yep, they're going for the 2. Anderson and Bogan hand off to Bogan. He goes up and over. He's in, but there's a penalty flag. So
I think they threw it on the other side.
Hold on.
It's on North, I think. It's on North Quincy.
Yep. So John Magnarelli is not indicated, but Bogan takes it in for the 2. North was offside. It is declined. First down, and first touchdown for Quincy and the 2, and it is 17-8. North Quincy still with the lead, and let's take 30 seconds. For Quincy coming in the closing moment of this second quarter, and right now it's anybody's football game, as North Quincy had roared out with 17-0 lead, but the Presidents coming back showing that they have the offense, and they did that largely without Bogan, as he was not the key man in that drive.
That certainly gives Quincy a psychological lift. They needed that. They had only had a couple of possessions of that ball, and they had to get rid of it and kick it, so this has really lifted Quincy. We were in for a heck of a ball game here.
Gary Collins kicks it, and he kicks it low, bouncing around, and Rich Brooks falls on it at his own 19-yard line. So North will start at the 19 with 24 seconds. And I would think that Coach Ken McPhee at this point would be happy to just have Taylor put the knee down maybe once and not fumble the football.
I would say so, Charlie, because Quincy's got a lot of momentum right now, and North doesn't want to make a mistake down. They want to go in the locker room, get reorganized, and let some of that momentum cool off that Quincy's picked up. But Quincy's really high now. They're looking. They know they can get a couple more touchdowns and get right back in this ball game. So. I wouldn't see North to do too much.
Yep. Kiley goes back to center field, and Taylor puts the knee down with 20, and now Quincy's going to take time out, so they're going to make North Quincy
sweat it out.
And make them snap the ball a number of times. 17-8, North Quincy with the lead over the Quincy Presidents. And a big crowd here at the stadium, especially the Quincy side. Those stands are packed. There's not a seat available.
There's not, look, I'm stretching my neck out here. There's not too many on this left over here, too. Of course, a lot of North Quincy people go up in that North Quincy corner up there, so there's a lot of room. They rather stand up there, but...
I could never understand that. They have all these seats in this ballpark, and people would rather stand.
Well, you know what it is? It's all the grads go up and stand in that in the corner, and then they can say hello to each other, and they're home for Thanksgiving. They see all their old friends, and they say hello and talk. I think they don't know half and see the ball game because they're talking to each other, and it's like, all home week up there. So it's especially on a nice day like this. And I'm sure Quincy has their little section on the other side, too.
Second down and 11. 19 seconds to go in the half. Taylor takes it now. He's looking to throw. Throws it out and incomplete.
That was a safe pass.
As he just threw it out, intended for John D'Angelo with Mark Bogan on the coverage. And that smart play by North Quincy, anticipating that Quincy might be figuring that they were just going to down the ball.
They might catch Quincy napping, but they weren't napping. But all they had to do was he just threw the ball long. Nobody was going to catch it except the North receiver, and he just threw it just a little bit too long. But it was a safe pass and smart play.
14 seconds, and it will be third down and 11. Taylor over to talk with Ken McPhee. Rich Brooks and John D'Angelo joined in on the huddle.
Only trouble is it doesn't eat up too much time on the clock.
Jack Raymer on the far side yelling in at his defense.
He wants to get that ball back again. Make North punt.
Third down. Taylor goes back, rolling out, looking. Chevery chasing him, trying to turn the corner, and Chevery gets him from behind down at about the 13-yard line.
That's right.
And Quincy
5 seconds.
Calls timeout.
Yeah.
And do you think they may be trying to block this North Quincy punt that's going to come up here?
I would imagine so. I would imagine so. Yeah, the quarterback, then Taylor, was just trying to eat up that clock and run wide and get it off. But, this is where a coach sweats, I tell you. When you talk about punting, that's the most precarious time in a football game. You got to have 11 men blocked perfectly. The other team is all coming. You got to have a perfect snap from the center right into the kicker's hands, and the kicker's got to get off a good kick. And you know how many times kickers, the best of them, will shank a ball or go out of bounds, or even go 3 or 4 yards. So coaches sweat this type of play.
Bogan, single safety. Liam Higgins standing at the goal line. Gets a good snap from center. Line drive. Bogan
fair catch.
Calling for a fair catch. Puts it down, but time has expired. So that will do it in this first half. And Coach Jack Raymer yelling in.
Wait a minute. He might be asking for... I don't know why. He called for a fair catch. If he didn't call for it, he would have had the ball.
Yep.
They had to give him the play, so he would have had a run. But he called for the fair catch, which killed the clock.
All right, so that is the end of the first half. Let's go down to Mike Tucker with Ken McPhee.
Kenny, first half's over, 17-8. Your ball team has come out here and played great football.
Absolutely, Mike. We couldn't be more proud of them. I've said that before, that, this is a game that you just can't tell what's going to happen. And, we gave them 30 yards of penalties on that last drive. I think we could have shut them out in the first half. So we're going to go in and do some things a little different and see what we can come up with in the second half.
Great finding your field goal kicker.
Oh, great kid. Great kid. He was only eligible today, so we got him eligible, and he's kicking the ball, and that's a big play for us.
Charlie, any questions you'd like to ask Kenny?
Nope. Just a great game so far, and it's anybody's football game at this point.
Okay. Kenny, we want to wish you the best of luck in the second half. We'll see you in there. Okay.
And Mike is going to go over and get Jack Raymer, who is standing by. So once again, back down to Mike.
Jackie, right now, North Quincy's had the luck of the first half. They played good football. What are you looking for in the second half?
We've got to make some defensive changes. They're doing a good job running the ball. We've got to make some adjustments on it. And we got to get our running game in gear a little bit. We got to control the ball. They've had the whole ball. That's the key. That was a big touchdown for us to come back. So, like I said, this is one of those games. This is how they are. And but we got to make some defensive adjustments and get our offense going.
Okay, we wish you luck in the second half, Jack. Charlie, before I bring it back to you, a couple quick notes. 9 first downs for North Quincy, 5 for Quincy. And the passing situation, Mark Taylor is 7 for 9 for 72 yards, and Mike Flavin 2 for 7 for 55 yards. And the big question is, Mark Bogan has only 8 yards in this first half.
Well, he has been covered very well. You would anticipate, Mike, that they would have covered Mark Bogan very well. And Quincy, I think, is either got to get a way to screen him out or just go to some other people.
Well, the way Jackie said, he's going to make some changes defensively, especially on that right side where North Quincy has been running the ball with Evan Kiley, who has over 70 yards. And we'll see what happens second half.
All right, Mike, thank you much. And we are at halftime, 17-8. The North Quincy Red Raiders lead 2 Evan Kiley touchdowns, a 12-yard run, a 1-yard run, and Pat O'Donohue with a 44-yard field goal. 17-0 they led, and then Dan Thackeray with a 24-yard touchdown pass from Mike Flavin. Bogan with the 2 points. 17-8. North leads at halftime, and we'll go back to John Nicholson at the football scoreboard. He'll be keeping you up to date with scores, and we'll have news from Joe Catalano. For Tom Fitzgerald.
They're not looking at 3 touchdowns. They're looking at 2 to get back in this ball game. So we're going to see one heck of a ball game this half. And as I said before, don't count this Quincy team out. They got plenty of guns. They got plenty of power. The stats, North, of course, is way up on the stats rushing on my terrible stats, 92 to 27 against Quincy, 95 passing for North, 55 for Quincy, and first downs 10 to 5 for North. The big difference here, of course, those 2 penalties. North picked up 50-yard penalties in that half, all total, but those 2 15-yarders were tough and set Quincy up beautiful for that pass on that score. So, and again, Quincy only had 15. And that big fumble, of course, hurt Quincy on that second possession when they were getting a drive, and North picked it up. So we've seen everything this half, and we'll see more the second half.
Well, Coach Jack Raymer, when he was speaking with Mike Tucker, said we've got to do some things on defense, and Quincy's going to have the opportunity, as North Quincy is going to get the second half kickoff. So we'll see what Coach Jack Raymer and staff have come up with to change strategy.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to stop that short side drive by Kiley with the end, and they're going to have to get a linebacker in there to stop that. And of course, their pass defense, they're playing basically a zone. Then they switch from man to man. But that's a matter of just personnel. They've just got to go in there, and they got to cover those receivers and stop them. I don't think Quincy is their main threat is stopping North's running game, because though they haven't done a good job of it, but they've got the horses to do it. On the other hand, North Quincy has got to stop Bogan, and he's the threat. And once they get Bogan going, then they get Anderson going, then they get the passing game going. So North's got their work cut out for them defensively. So anything can happen on this half, but it's been a great half. Hard-hitting ball game, clean ball game. Those penalties weren't dirty penalties. They were just foolish penalties that from overexuberance that kids do, and any player does. But they weren't real harmful penalties. So it's been a clean, hard-fought ball game here. And the second half is going to be a real humdinger, I'm sure.
That was a great shot of Desmond Balot, wide receiver, out with a broken leg. He's standing at the north sideline, and he's got a megaphone he got from one of the cheerleaders, and he's standing right at the sideline, and he's yelling in at his teammates. But he's a junior. He'll be in this game next year, so he'll know what it's like.
I was talking to him before the game, and he had a face on that was kind of long. I was trying to cheer him up a bit, but he's just toppled down. He wasn't in this ball game.
Gary Collins kicks it off for Quincy, and it'll be taken by Pat Shea for the Red Raiders east of a 30-35. Good field position for North Quincy as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line, as Mark Taylor and Evan Kiley have been the big stories for this North Quincy offense, as Kiley, one of the captains, 6 foot, 170-pound senior, has done the bulk of the running today. Rich Brooks has played well for North Quincy. North without Balot and Murray and Kakuzo, 3 of their big offensive weapons, but you would not know that there was anything wrong with North Quincy today the way they have played.
Quincy's pretty well pumped up now, though, Charlie. I'll tell you, they get a lot.
1st and 10. Brooks has the handoff. He is hit at the 37-yard line and dragged down. Dave Chapman on the stop for the North Quincy Red Raiders. It'll be 2nd down, gain of 3 yards for the Red Raiders. And Quincy defensively looking to stop North Quincy and get the football back.
Kenny's getting changing his backs a little bit, and his wide receivers in and out of this ball game. He's got to get him in there a little quicker, get him in and out quick so he doesn't get a penalty.
Three receivers, right ball, right hash. Mark Taylor looking to throw. Has his man complete to the 42-yard line and down. Reardon on the coverage. Pat Shea, the man that caught the ball. And Graham Chevery also over on that coverage as well. So it'll be third down, pickup of about 5. Make it 4. It'll be third down and 3, or 4. Third and 4. For the North Quincy Red Raiders.
Just a quick snap pass right over to one of the wide receivers. They put those 3 men over there. That splits that Quincy defense out pretty good. It thins it out, and that's what they're trying to do.
3 receivers right again behind Taylor. Kiley, lone man in the backfield. Now Brooks goes in motion to the left. Hand off Kiley, trying to get to the outside, and he is close to the first down. Mark Bogan making the stop. Penalty flag is thrown.
Oh, against...
and it might be... it could be... offensive pass interference as Don Anderson kind of holding his hands out, pleading his case, saying, what did I do?
He might have gone downfield and held or clipped downfield, yeah.
Personal foul against North Quincy.
I think that's what it was, downfield on the safety man.
So North Quincy has played an outstanding football game, and about the only thing that you could say in the negative has been the penalties, as they have had that's at least 3 personal foul penalties that have been called on them.
As I say, not vicious penalties, just just over exuberant type of penalties. Well, a little short, I think.
Yeah, they are short, and
about an inch.
So it'll be 4th down, and let's see what Quincy is going to do. If they move them back 15 yards, it'll be 3rd down again.
You don't want to give them the ball up here.
So North is going to go a long way to the huddle.
Yeah. They're not going to give them the ball up here with an inch to go.
And they will mark it off. So they will get 3rd down again, but it will be 3rd and long. The ball will go back inside the 30-yard line.
Good break for Quincy there.
Back to the 25-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 20.
4th down.
4th down.
Yeah, they lose the down.
That's right, lost the down.
4th down and 20.
So it is 4th down, and Liam Higgins will punt it. Mark Bogan and Robbie Kane are back deep.
Yeah, he moved to 20 yards. Going to give Quincy another 5.
So wait a minute. All right. Yep. So back to the 30-yard line. So Higgins gets a bit of a break. Kane and Bogan awaiting.
Nice
Good snap. Not too much of a rush. Line drive, and Bogan watches it go by. It'll be Kane at his own 41. Breaks the tackle.
He can move.
Now he's going to cut to the right side. Stiff arms the player. 45. He's to the 50. Robbie Kane. 45, 40, 30. Nobody there. Penalty flag. Back up field. And I think we may have a clip there.
It was a clip. I saw it back up here. I didn't know if he got it or not. It wasn't a bad one, but...
Robbie Kane with a...
I'm sure he got it.
60-yard touchdown run, but it is going to come back on a clipping call. And back it comes. And the Quincy cheers now shift to the North Quincy side as
the players don't even realize they're coming back, that flag is down there, standing on the sideline cheering. Now they're picking it up.
And Coach Jack Raymer is livid.
But it wasn't a bad clip, Charlie. I saw it back here. It was just a little push from behind. And... just enough to make it a clip.
All right, we're going to watch it on the replay as Kane went left and then came back to the right.
See that one right there.
And he went down. So the Quincy touchdown wiped out on the clip. And this Robbie Kane, though, a sophomore, he came onto the basketball team last year late in the year and really inspired Coach John Franciscini's Chargers, and this year he has done the same to Quincy.
What a tough break for Quincy, Charlie. I'll tell you, that was a beautiful run back. You know, just touched him on the back as we saw in the replay. Just a tough break for Quincy, and of course, North Quincy jumping with joy because that would have made this ball game awful close.
As you called it, Tom, it was a clip, but not a bad one. Could have gone either way. Hand off to Bogan up the middle, and he gets over the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Matt Swartz making the stop for North Quincy. Gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down. 17-8. North Quincy with the lead with 8:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. And what has been a beautiful day for football, a packed stadium, and we're glad you've joined us here on AM 1300 WJDA.
Charlie, right now, boy, their tempers on both teams are up, and they're really chewing their gums out here now. They're gonna see some tough, hard football from now, and I can see the emotions on both teams are really up.
Pitch to Anderson. Anderson trying to go left side, looking for a block. He's to the 44 and up to the 45-yard line. Pat Shea on the stop for the North Quincy Red Raiders. He is going to be shy of the first down. They mark it
just
shy of the 45. He's going to be close, but they're going to measure it. So with 8:11 to go, third quarter, it is 17-8. North Quincy will take 30 seconds. Across, and they are about 5 inches away from first down yardage as Jason Anderson taking a page out of the North Quincy playbook as everybody went to the right and Anderson came to the left.
That's right.
That's been the play that's worked so well for North Quincy today.
They sent motion right. They lined up heavy right with their back right and wing, and then everybody went right, and they gave Anderson coming back there. The only thing is he has to make the yardage on his own and run over the end just like North did, and he picked up some tough yardage then. So we got about 5 inches to go for a touchdown, for a first down.
Third and less than a yard. I formation, wing is to the right, handoff Anderson, first down, penalty flag.
Looks like oh boy, and he picked up nice hole right off left guard, just plunged right through there, picked up about 5 yards, but I think the flag is that on North Quincy?
Yep, offside North Quincy. So the first down will stand as they pick up 5 yards. So they will probably decline the penalty, and that's what Quincy says. So it'll be declined. First down, the ball at the 50-yard line. Quincy moving from right to left here in the third quarter. As Scott Buckman, the center, out over the ball. Chapman goes to the right, Reardon wing right, Anderson and Bogan behind Flavin. They give it to Reardon on the counter. He's to the 45-yard line, gain of about 5. That could have been more, but for Pat Shea, who made a nice job, nice play defensively for North Quincy.
He came over from the other side. That's that trap, fake pitch trap left, and the linebacker moved out and they trapped the tackle, and it was the safety on the other side come over and made that tackle. So he did a great job. If he hadn't been over there, that would have gone for TD. Quincy's right back in their ball game, Charlie. They're doing what they want to do now.
2nd and 5. Kavanaugh is tight to the left. Chapman to the right. Pitch to Bogan. Bogan in trouble, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage by Adam Stroud, who slowed him up. So it's a loss of about a yard for Quincy back to the 45-yard line.
Boy, Adam Stroud just broke right through there because he's an experienced ball player. He's one of the better linemen on that North Quincy team, and he just broke through there and pulled him down. Be just at the line of scrimmage, just grabbed him around the waist and yanked him right down. Great defensive play.
3rd and 5 from the 45-yard line of North Quincy as the Presidents
the heavy right now.
Have 2 receivers to the right. Flavin, play action fake, rushes on. He is in trouble, breaks away from one. In trouble, throws it out, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Mark Taylor at the 50 and down to the 40-yard line. Mark Taylor with an interception standing in front of the Quincy defender. And North Quincy takes the ball, 1st and 10 on the Mark Taylor interception.
Charlie, he just underthrew that ball. He waggled out to the backside. Are we on? Yeah. Are we on?
Yep.
He just waggled out to the backside. 2 men had a hold on the passer, but he just shook him loose, and he threw the ball. He just threw it short. I don't know. It's the first time I ever saw him throw off the mark, but he threw the ball short to his receiver about 10 yards downfield, and the North Quincy kid just walked in and picked it up from the sideline, and he got good blocking. He down there went all the way. So if he was a little faster, he could have trotted into the end zone. So
Taylor stepping in front of Jason Anderson and Flavin. throwing that on the run and nearly completed it, but for a good play by Taylor. And now Taylor moves in under center as quarterback. Double wing formation. Kiley, lone man in the backfield. Hand off to Brooks. Wing left side. He's inside the 40, down to about the 35-yard line. Gain of close to 6 yards.
Great move by Brooks. He was trapped by 3 men out there as he went around on a reverse, and he got outside. There were 3 Quincy men waiting for him, but he just waggled and wiggled up inside of him and picked up about 5 yards on that play. Great offensive run by Brooks.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Robbie Kane on that last tackle. 6:01 to go. Third quarter, 17-8. North Quincy with the lead. They have the ball at the Quincy 35-yard line.
Can't say enough about Kane. He's all over this football field doing things. Running the ball back, making tackles. He's a great little ball player.
Taylor back to pass. He sends 3 wideouts. Rushes on. Throws it out. Looking for Shea. And he catches it. Penalty flag now. Reardon comes up with it, and let's see what they're going to call.
This is a big play right here.
Let's see what they're going to call. I thought Shea came down with it.
Yeah. It's on Quincy.
And it's going to be interference on Quincy, as Shea looked like he had it, but Reardon stole it. But it's going to be pass interference on Quincy. So North Quincy will get a break as they will mark off the pass interference. And North Quincy will be in good field position as they march it off. It will not be from the point of the interception. They will spot the ball at the 20-yard line. It looks on the pass interference. So it'll be North Quincy, 1st and 10, deep in Quincy territory. And the Quincy defenders still upset at that. And Coach Jack Raymer on the far side, pacing back and forth, yelling in, not pleased at that.
Charlie, they both went up. I think there was a little push just before they both went up for the ball. There wasn't any interferences. They both went up because they both have a right to that ball. If they're going to that ball and they jump, they both have a right to it. But I think there was just a little contact made just before they both went up, and I think that's what he probably called. But it was an awful close call. Awful close call.
Well, the awful close ones have been called today. One of the reasons might be that there are 6 officials on the field.
They get 2 extra officials downfield. That's what they got them there for, so they can watch those pass interference.
1st and 10. Kiley with the handoff, trying to turn the corner. There's another flag. The ball is fumbled. Quincy's got it at the 20-yard line, but let's see what the penalty flag is.
Yeah. It might be a holding on North Quincy to begin with.
And the Quincy players are jumping up and down, so it would indicate that it is against North Quincy. So it'll be Quincy ball. And the penalty decline. Quincy has held defensively, and they'll go on offense. 17-8, North with the lead. Let's take 30 seconds.
Comes that trap.
One play run, Jason Anderson up the middle for 1 yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Quincy. The ball at the 21, their own 21-yard line, as the Presidents, Pat Neal, recovered the North Quincy fumble. And Quincy with a break.
Good break for Quincy. That's what they needed. But they just North Quincy just shut that trap down again. So they're wide left this time. So let's look for that sweep.
Flavin pitch to Bogan. Bogan looking for some blocking, turning the corner. 25 stiff arms a player and is bumped out of bounds. And there's a penalty. That's a late hit. And
I don't know.
I think that was a late hit.
Yeah.
He was 3 yards out of off the field, and he did get an elbow. So Bogan got it to the 30, and 15 is going to be tacked on the personal foul against North Quincy, and that is at least 4 personal foul penalties that have been called against North Quincy. I'm going to watch it on the replay as Bogan went out, and All right, we have a disagreement in the booth. But it is first down for Quincy.
Good thing we're not refereeing.
Absolutely. But I really think that 6 officials, I think that is making a difference in this football game.
They're not going to let anything get by.
First and 10, Quincy at their own 45-yard line. Play action fake to Bogan, looking downfield, and a pass incomplete to Chapman, and there's another penalty flag.
You can't say that one.
And Tony Lisciardi pleading his case, and they are going to call an interference penalty against North Quincy. Chapman, the intended receiver, and I'm not sure about that one, as Chapman, I think, was looking toward the sun, and I think he was just looking for the ball, but they are calling it pass interference against North Quincy. As we'll watch Channel 3's replay. And, well, yeah, it could have gone either way. Lisciardi had his arms in the vicinity of Thackeray. It could have gone either way, but again, one of those close calls. So another penalty being called, and now it's Ken McPhee's turn to be livid. The hat has come off. You can always tell with Ken McPhee when he's upset, that hat comes off. And it is first down, Quincy at the North Quincy 40-yard line. Pitch to Bogan. Bogan, right side, turning the corner. There's another flag. 30, 25, 20, and he is going to get taken out of bounds. He fumbled it out of bounds at about the 5-yard line, but we've got a penalty flag back upfield. And I believe it's probably going to come back as referee John Magnarelli will indicate what the call is, and it could be a holding. Offside, North Quincy. It is declined, and Bogan gets the ball down to the 6-yard line. It'll be first and goal from the 6-yard line for Quincy.
Charlie, he just got around that end there. The end did a good job, but he got no support, no coverage, no pursuit from the rest of the North Quincy team, and Bogan just turned it up that field, knocked out on about the 6-yard line by the safety. But if North Quincy doesn't stop that,
and North Quincy has called a timeout with 4.5 to go. Third quarter, 17-8. North Quincy with the lead.
Charlie,
we'll take 30 seconds.
They got to make some adjustment over there. That's okay.
Yep. All right.
That's what you get.
Keith, if you can hear me. Stadium, let's go down to Mike Tucker, who's down at the 10-yard line.
Charlie, it's been a quarter of officiating. That Robbie Kane punt return, it looked like the defender of North Quincy turned his back on the blocker. There was a clipping call that I don't think it should have been called. And then the call down here on the sideline where they had a pile on, that was another kind of a bad call.
Okay, thank you, Mike. We'll check with you in a while here. First and goal at the 6-yard line. Handoff Bogan. Bogan inside the 5. Ball fumbled, and North Quincy, I believe, has got it. As North Quincy recovers the fumble, as Mark Bogan fumbled it.
Oh, Bogan was on. He picked up 5 yards. Charlie broke right through in just a 1 yard. About the 3-yard line, the ball popped out of his hands, and a North Quincy kid was right there and fell on it.
Jason April recovers the ball.
Oh, what a tough break.
And so North Quincy has held defensively as Coach Jack Raymer standing out at the 20-yard line yelling over at the officials. And he is not pleased, and now Jack Raymer is going out to talk to referee John Magnarelli. And
if he's saying he's down, he wasn't. He just broke through, and as he just started to hit the ground, the ball bounced out. That was a clean fumble.
Well, that cannot be any closer to going
right
into the end zone.
What
Then
a tough break for Quincy on that. I can see what Jack's upset on that play, but there was no question that Bogan was going to be denied. He just broke through there, but it's what happens in many a ball game. They forget about the football, and just as he hit the ball bounced out.
Well,
North is a tough situation.
Yeah, they're in a pickle at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, not even 1 yard, I don't think.
Taylor back to pass, rushes on, and he throws it incomplete, as that was intended for Don Anderson, and the rush was on. Kane and Reardon over on the left side, the Quincy defensive left side, and it'll be second down, and right now Quincy has to be coming, looking to get that safety on North Quincy.
Yeah, they want that. They want that safety. That'll boost them right up there. I tell you right now, if Quincy gets a hold of that football again, the way they're running, they're going to score. That's up unless you shoot them.
North comes out, 3 receivers again. Kiley, lone man in the backfield, standing in his own end zone. Taylor calling signals. He goes back to pass once again. Rushes on Chevrolet, hits him, and it is incomplete.
Almost intercepted.
Nearly intercepted by Mark Bogan as Graham Chevrolet just pummeled Mark Taylor as the ball just was being released.
I give Kenny McPherson, that quarterback, a lot of credit passing down that end zone, but that ball gets intercepted, boy. You're talking about 15 or 20 yards from that goal line if they pass in that secondary. They're taking one heck of a chance down there, but they gotta move that ball out. They're gonna be one more down, and then they're gonna be punting from their end zone.
They were very close. Taylor was very close to being bumped across the end line by Chevrolet, and that would have been a safety before he had thrown the ball. It was very close.
You don't want to give up 2 points in a ball game like this. I wouldn't anyway.
3rd and 10 from inside the 1 for North Quincy. Handoff straight ahead to Kiley, and he gets almost up to the 10-yard line.
Got a first down, has he?
He's maybe shy. I think they'll maybe mark it at the 9-yard line. Yep, they mark it back to about the 9.5, but that will give North Quincy an opportunity to punt. Now Kiley's coming off the field limping. And he is just gets off the field. Mike Tucker is right down there, so we'll check with Mike in a moment as North will have to punt it away. But Evan Kiley hopped off the field.
He's been taking some hard hits in there, Charlie. He's been the leather man today, lugging that leather through that tough Quincy line.
As Liam Higgins will punt from his own end zone, Kane and Bogan stand back at the North 35-yard line. Good snap from center, gets it away, not a good kick. Now it's going to bounce, and Kane picks it up at the 45. Cuts to the sideline, and he is going to be hit at the 42-yard line. Good coverage by North Quincy, and it will be Quincy in good field position. And let's go down to Mike Tucker as Evan Kiley is down on the ground.
Yeah, Charlie, Evans on the ground. It's a bad cramp in his calf area, so he's okay. He's just rubbing it out right now. He'll be back in the next set of downs.
All right, thank you, Mike. Mike was in the right place at the right time. So it'll be first down for Quincy with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. 17-8, North Quincy with the lead over the Presidents.
Quincy's loaded for bear. They're going to get this offense going. You can bet your life.
Hand off to Bogan. Bogan inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. And it'll be second down.
59 for the Hawks.
Flavin over to talk to assistant coach Bob Noble, giving him the play.
This is for the part of the ball game when you get down to nitty-gritty. When you get down to off tackle, up the middle, and the big heavy kids, they kind of take over in this type of a ball game. The smaller team gets tired. I think that's what you're going to see out here this from now on in this ball game.
Receivers right, pitch to Bogan, sweeping left side. Anderson out in front with a block. He's to the 30 and down at the 30-yard line. It'll be a first down for Quincy as Anderson and Mike Cavanaugh blocking out in front for Mark Bogan. Now Kiley is back in the football game defensively.
Quincy's really opening up this offense now. They got North sitting on their heels, so they got the power, they got the backs, they got the big line. They got to go to work now. North Quincy really got to dig in if they want to stop this Quincy threat right here.
Ball left hash mark of the North 30-yard line. Hand off to Anderson. He is hit behind the line and taken down by Chris McCallum. as McCallum nailed Jason Anderson, and that'll be a loss of maybe 2. And
That's
we'll
that trap,
be second
Charlie.
down.
That's that trap. North has got that down pat. They're not going to run that trap too much, especially to North Quincy's left side, Quincy's right side. They might run it back the other side. They seem to run it better to the left, but North has been practicing against that trap, I'm sure, for the last couple of weeks. So I think it's the sweep they're going to have to worry about in the passing.
Second down and 12 for Quincy. Flavin, play action fake. He's looking to throw.
He's wide open.
Looking for his man, complete to Reardon at the 20-yard line, and down at the 20-yard line, right near that yard marker, Rich Brooks making the stop for North Quincy, and it is a first down Quincy. First and 10 for the Presidents at the Red Raider 19-yard line.
Beautiful play action pass, Charlie. Hit him right 10 yards downfield, picked up the first down. That's a bread and butter pass play with Quincy. They run it to perfection. Beautiful job.
Minute 21 to go, third quarter, 17-8. North Quincy with the lead. Wishbone backfield pitch to Bogan. Bogan trying to sweep left side, 20 on his feet to the 15 and taken down from behind by Pat Shea at the 15-yard line. Those two have a word or two, probably. Do you like cranberry sauce or something?
How you like your turkey?
So they mark it at the 15-yard line, gain of 4, second and 6. Quincy moving toward the north end zone.
That's what they're going to do. I should be surprised to see Bogan go right again this time, maybe, or up the middle. The I formation, or go right or up the middle.
In the wishbone. They almost fumble it as Flavin tried to hand it off to Anderson, and Anderson didn't take the ball, and Flavin recovered it. Loss of a yard. So it's going to be third and long now for Quincy, and Quincy getting a break as Flavin picked up that loose ball.
He was lucky on that one. He got through there, and he was just giving a little soft handoff right off the middle, but they just didn't connect. I think the fullback got there just a little bit ahead of the ball for the quarterback. This is a big play for Quincy right here.
This will be the last play of the third quarter if they get it off. 5 seconds to go.
They got a sweep again, I wouldn't doubt.
And they do. Pitch to Bogan, sweeping left side. He's got some blocking. Now cuts it back inside, and he's down. And there's a penalty flag down to about the 12-yard line with a penalty flag. And that, we'll see what the call is.
Charlie
grabbing the face mask against North Quincy. So Quincy will have a first down. And that is the scoreboard shows no time left in the third quarter, and
they do with my prediction.
And they mark it down at the 6-yard line. And North has not come off, but they do. That is the end of the third quarter. It is 17-8. North Quincy with the lead. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in 60 seconds.
3 quarters. North Quincy 17.
Here at the stadium, let's switch down to Mike Tucker on the sidelines.
Yeah, Charlie, emotions are running real high right now. Both coaches are trying to settle both teams down. They don't need these flagrant calls. And right now, there's going to be one play left in this third quarter. Up to you.
And they said that there is indeed one play left, so it is first and goal at the 6. Anderson in trouble and is horse-collared by Kiley and taken down at the 9-yard line. So that now is the end of the third quarter. The scoreboard clock indicated that there was no time left. So we have officially now completed 3 quarters of action. 17-8 is is our score. North Quincy with the lead. And Mike Tucker, any further comments down on the sideline?
Well, right now, Quincy has brought the ball inside the 10-yard line 3 times here in the third quarter. Now going into the fourth, they can't allow them not to, they have to get in the pay dirt right now. They can't be stopped again. That'll do something to them mentally in this ball game. Right now, this is an important touchdown for Quincy.
Mike, do you think along the sideline, just my opinion, that maybe in some cases the Zebras have taken control of this game a little too much?
Yes, in that third quarter, there was a couple plays that I don't want to keep saying it, but the officiating, like you said, there's 6 of them today, and they keep throwing flags, and it looks like they're making some make-up calls in here as both coaches are getting on them.
All right, thank you, Mike, and what will be a very exciting fourth quarter, we'll be checking in with Mike, and after the game, he'll have both coaches. We'll get an idea of what the feelings were, and this is anybody's football game. 17-9, North Quincy with the lead, but Quincy is coming on.
I didn't understand that last call by Quincy. They just threw it to Bogan to the outside, didn't put anybody out there interference. Now they're in a wishbone type of a power eye. 2nd
and goal from the 9-yard line. Pitch to Bogan.
Yeah.
Bogan looking for a block. He's to the 5. He's to about the 2, maybe to the 1-yard line. Jason April grabs him from behind and keeps him out of the end zone. So it'll be 3rd and goal for Quincy at about the 1-yard line.
Charlie, they went to a wishbone type, and they just ran a power eye with, they call it an ISO series, and they just had the 2 lead blockers go right at the end and just drove that end out, and Bogan came right in behind him. That's a good offensive right down here. Now they're just real up close with it.
Eye with a slot, hand off to Bogan. Bogan up and over, and he is in for the touchdown. 17-14, Quincy has cut the lead. 10:23 to go in the football game. Mark Bogan with a 1-yard run. And for Mark Bogan, his 16th touchdown of the year. And the North Quincy lead has been cut to 3. Let's see if they're going to go for the 1 point. They are going to do it as Noel DeBona with Mike Flavin to hold. Will try and cut the lead to 2. And some movement. Ball is down, and it is blocked. And we'll see. It looks like North Quincy jumped. And if they did, yep, the Quincy players saying yes. John Magnarelli indicating North Quincy offside. So Quincy will get another shot.
Sure will.
And let's see if the thinking changes a little bit. If North Quincy, with the penalty, if Quincy will maybe try and go for the 2.
I think I might, John. They'd like to get 2 points here, and they certainly get the horses to do it. They just run Bogan up behind those 2 backs again. They certainly can pick up a quick yard.
And they are going to go for the 2 points after the penalty. Everybody uptight. The slot man is left. And the handoff to Bogan, churning those legs, and they say he got in.
Yeah, he got in.
As he puts the ball in. And so Bogan with the 2 points, and Quincy has cut the lead. It is 17-16. North Quincy hanging on to a 1-point lead, and the North Quincy bench is just erupted. Pete Zoya, one of the assistant coaches. Boy, I have not seen Pete Zoya so excited in a long time. Let's get down to Mike Tucker.
Yes, the reason why I've been so excited here, he was stopped on the half-yard line, and as he was going down, he kind of put his arm out with the ball, and the ref just looked at him and then decided to put his arms up. That's why everybody's all upset here.
And John Magnarelli is getting it. Yep, Pete Zoya is boy.
If he didn't blow the whistle, if he didn't blow the whistle for his forward motion to stop, he can still carry it in. So.
Yep, and he did. As he was going down, he took that ball, and a smart play by Bogan, slapped it over the plane of the end zone. The body does not have to get in. It's the football.
Just get that ball across that line. That's all you have to touch that line and get it across. We're right back, and this Quincy team is taking over now. I'll tell you. North's got to dig in. They got to get some offense going.
Gary Collins will kick it off as Kylie Shea and Lisciardi are back deep for North Quincy. Set to receive this kickoff. Quincy has cut the lead. It is 17-16. As Collins hand in the air. 5 after 12. Happy Thanksgiving, WJDA Quincy. Collins put in the ball, high end over end kick, and it's going to be Lisciardi has to go over his hands and now takes it to the 15, goes up to the middle of the field, trying to get to the outside. He's to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, and he gets to the 40-yard line as Tony Lisciardi, 5'8" freshman, who has started in the defensive backfield all this year, makes a nice return, and North Quincy will have it 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
Charlie, he waited. He got to the wide side of the field and waited for his blockers to get over there. He down there broke them loose. Nice return and pretty good field position for North Quincy. Now they gotta get this ball moving. Because I tell you right now, if Quincy gets a hold of that ball again, they're going to score.
Tom, I did not think there would be a game that would peak, that would have the excitement of last year's game, but this game is doing it.
I thought it was.
1st and 10, Taylor with a handoff to Brooks. Brooks in trouble at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Ali Sleeman.
Yeah, there he is again.
And Bogan also in on the coverage along with Sean Kennedy. Give him half a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Red Raiders.
You know, last year was a great game, too, but the footing wasn't that great last year. They were limited to a little bit to their running. I watched that film the other night, but this is a beautiful field to play on. No wind. It's just a real, just raw football out here today, and that's what you're going to see.
2nd and 9. 3 receivers right. Kylie, lone man in the backfield behind Taylor. Tight end left. He is back to pass. Has the time, has the protection, and throws it complete to Anderson at the 49-yard line. A real grass cutter. And
boy, what a pass.
Wow. Couldn't have been thrown any better as Anderson.
Boy, he threads that needle.
Wow.
He's getting better all the time. I thought that ball might have hit the ground, but and a great catch, Charlie, too.
Yep.
The receiver caught that ball low. I thought it might have hit the ground, but he must have just picked it up before it hit that grass.
They're shy of 1st down yardage by a yard. It'll be 3rd and 1. Taylor with Kylie in the backfield. Quincy, 8-man front. Handoff to Kylie. He's got 1st down yardage into Quincy territory to the 48-yard line, brought down by Graham Chevery for Quincy.
That's the first down, and North got this half, I think.
Sleeman also on the stop for Quincy.
Well, Kylie, he's the workhorse in there today. He's carrying the load in there. He's got cramps in his legs, but when he's out there, he's forgetting about him. He's looking at football. Hard, tough yardage against that big Quincy line. And that line, boy, they're just raring to get across and get at those North Quincy backs.
8.5 minutes to go in the game. North Quincy 17, Quincy 16. Shea, wide right. D'Angelo and Brooks are the wings. Kylie, lone man in the backfield. The wing handoff to Brooks, trying to go left side. Gets to the 45, taken down by Robbie Kane and Mark Bogan. Sleeman also in there. Gain of 3, maybe 4 yards for Rich Brooks.
Nice run. Good interference. Great pursuit by Quincy. They get people to that ball real quick. So that Quincy defense is really, really hammering hard. There's some hard licks and hard hits being put on these North Quincy backs. And they're not the biggest in the world. They're feeling this.
2nd and 7, 3-yard gain on that last play. Anderson splits wide left the ball, left hash mark. D'Angelo and Brooks again the wings with Kylie in the backfield behind Taylor. Play action fake. Taylor looking to throw, rushes on, gets it away, and it is dropped at the 35-yard line by Mark Keller, who had it, and maybe he heard a footstep or two as Kavanaugh was over there.
They put a lick on Taylor back here, Charlie. He's bent over, and he's not had the wind knocked out of him, and they're going to have to take a timeout for him. I don't know who it was. One of those big Quincy linemen just came right through and just good clean hit, just hit him right in the midsection, and he needs a little time to get his stomach together after that one.
So North Quincy calls time with 7:29 to go in the game. It is North 17, Quincy 16. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Tucker.
Charlie, you've been saying all game that the size difference between Quincy and North Quincy. North Quincy might not be as big as in stature, but their heart is as big as the stature of Quincy. And if they can last 7 more minutes, they might pull this one out.
We'll see what happens. 3rd and 7. North Quincy has played an outstanding game, no doubt about it, as they try and hang on. 3rd down. Taylor hands it off to Pat Shea on the end around. Shea is in trouble and bumped out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Gain of a couple.
Quincy smelt that one out, Charlie. They didn't let him get anything. They had 3 men over here waiting for that reverse.
Yep.
Yeah.
John O'Connor and your buddy, Mr. Sleeman.
He's something. I'll tell you, he's a great linebacker. Well, he's just about every play he's in. Got to say, Charlie, Quincy's got a 4-man line with 3 linebackers, and boy, they come with 6, they come with 5, they come with 4. Sometimes they come with 7. So, they're just big, strong kids up there, and they're just wearing this North Quincy team down right now, I think.
4th and 4. Bogan and Kane go back deep as Higgins stands at his own 45-yard line. Gets a high snap from center field. At high kick, not too deep. Fair catch called by Bogan, and he is held. And, and that's an obvious penalty as Bogan was interfered with trying to make the fair catch by Mike Piccarello of North Quincy. And
I don't think he saw him put his hand up, Charlie. He was so close to him, and the punt was so high, and Piccarello came down. He was right on top, and I don't even think he realized that Bogan put up his hand because he was standing right in front of him. But it was an awful tough call.
Well,
the kid didn't really realize what he had done.
Well, North Quincy has been their own worst enemy today with these penalties. And there's another one, interference against North Quincy as Bogan going for the fair catch was held as he tried to make the catch, and 15 yards added on. So it is 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line for the Presidents with 6:34 to go in the game. As Reardon pitched to Bogan. Bogan hit and taken down after gaining a couple to the 37. Mark Kelleher on the stop for North Quincy. As Mark Bogan has been pretty well covered today.
But he needs an inch. They signal that players come, and they put motion, they put everything out. They just say, here we come, stop us. And that time North Quincy had people over there, but a few times they haven't. And if they don't put everybody over there, he's going to break one, I'll tell you.
2nd down and 8 as Quincy comes out with Thackeray wide right.
I see a little pass here.
Wide out left side, 2 men in the backfield. Flavin hands it off to Bogan. Flag is down. He's to the 40. He's to the 50. He's in a foot race to Pat Shea. 35-30, and Pat Shea gets him from behind, but we've got a penalty flag back upfield.
Yeah, over here.
And let's see what the call will be. As
all right, let's see what this
referee John Magnarelli indicates North was offside. It is declined, and that was nearly a touchdown as Bogan was tripped up by Shea. So it is 1st and 10, Quincy at the North 27-yard line.
Charlie, 3 people had a hand on that ball carrier then, and he broke away from all 3. They had him behind the line of scrimmage. They had their arms wrapped around him, and he broke loose and picked up that 30-35 yard. Beautiful run. Here they come right again.
Shea with a shoestring tackle, and now Anderson on the handoff, and he gets to about the 26, maybe to the 25-yard line. Gain of a couple.
They got back with that counter trap again. Sweep, counter trap, sweep, counter trap. They're going to set you up. Maybe a little pass thrown in.
Kiley with the stop. And it'll be 2nd down. They give him a yard to the 26. 2nd and 9. 5:15 to go in the game. North Quincy 17. Quincy 16. The Red Raiders trying to pull off the upset. They have to hold Quincy defensively. Flavin pitch to Bogan. Bogan makes a pass. Looking, has a man, and it is caught at the 5-yard line. Oh! What a catch by Dave Chapman as he was back and forth with one of the deep backs for North Quincy. I didn't see who it was, but Chapman just reached over the North Quincy defensive back and caught it and hit the ground.
Yeah, I thought he knocked it down. All of a sudden, he had that ball. He knocked it in the air, then he catched the... Oh, it just bounced out of the North Quincy.
It bounced out of Tony Licciardi's hands and into Chapman.
Oh.
And it is first and goal, Quincy at the North 5-yard line.
Oh, boy, everything can happen here. What a break for Quincy. Now they're going that power eye now. They're going that ISO series. They're going to run right up the middle of the ISO. Right off
first
back.
and goal.
Oh.
And the pitch to Reardon. Reardon stopped shy of the 5, maybe a loss of a yard. Jason April, along with Mark Kelleher for North Quincy. And it will be second and goal, loss of a yard, second and goal from the 6 for Quincy.
Charlie, you always tell pass defenders to knock the ball down with both hands, push it down to the ground, and he did. And it just went off his fingertips and just bounced into the receiver's hands. Tough break for Quincy, a great break for North Quincy. For Quincy, great, just unbelievable football.
Flavin on the pitch to Bogan. Bogan sweeping left side. He's got some running room. He's to the 5, and he is in.
He's going.
Touchdown.
He's going in.
Bogan.
Yeah, he's in.
With a 6-yard run. And Quincy has taken the lead for the first time in the football game, as it is 22-17. As Quincy has scored 22 unanswered points after North Quincy had led 17-0. As Bogan scoring his 16th touchdown of the year. Now Noel Devano with Mike Flavin to hold will try and make it 23-17. He gets the snap, ball down, kick is up, and it is good. So Devano with the kick, and it is 23-17 as Quincy has taken the lead for the first time in this football game, and will dive. He's to the 30, and he's going to be wrapped up at the 30-yard line and taken down. And it'll be first down for North Quincy at their own 30-yard line with 3 minutes and 53 seconds to go in this football game. And a contrast of halves, as the first half pretty much belonged to North Quincy, and now this second half has belonged to the Quincy Presidents.
But all Quincy out here now, I tell you, they got momentum when they get that last touchdown on that in the second quarter, and they went in that locker room, and I'm sure Jack and the captains talked, and they kept that momentum. You can almost tell they were coming here with fire in their eyes in that third period.
Taylor has receivers left and right, back split. As he drops straight back, looking to throw, has the time, has the protection, looking for Kiley, but it's intercepted by Bogan at the 50, 45 to the 40, and Mark Bogan is taken down at the North Quincy 38-yard line as Mark Bogan intercepts the pass with 3:42 to go in the game, and Quincy leading 23-17. As Mark Bogan with that interception, North Quincy obviously passing. Quincy peeled back, looking for pass defense, and Bogan stepped up in front with the interception. Right out over the middle, Evan Kiley was the intended receiver, and Bogan in front of him picked it off. So Flavin
with the power eye again.
As backs.
It's a big fullback right up the middle.
Anderson for about 4 to the 35-yard line. Quincy right now looking to hang on to the football. North Quincy looking for the defense to do otherwise, and North is going to start taking timeout, so there is a timeout in the field. 3:35 to go in the game. Quincy 23, the Red Raiders 17. We'll take 30 seconds. On the field, it is 23-17. Quincy with the lead, and
Ellie, that was the only bad pass that Taylor threw all day. He threw it right into Bogan's hands. looking at this North Quincy team now, they're tired out there. They're spent. They're hanging on. They gotta get that football and get back in this ball game. This Quincy team is all pumped up. They got lots of momentum here. They're big and strong. So North Quincy is hanging right onto the ropes now. Sonny Miracle is going to pull this thing out.
That miracles can happen.
I'll say that is going to happen.
This thing.
But this is football. They're in this power eye, and they're going to just hammer away.
High slot right. Flavin blitzes on. Hand off to Bogan. Bogan to the 35-yard line. Gain of about 1.
Quincy doesn't have to do much, Sally. Just control this ball out of the power eye and just bang inside. Maybe throw Bogan out once, and they'll get him inside. Then throw Bogan outside. And North's in a tough situation right now. Boy, they played some football out here today.
Mark Kelleher on the stop on that last play. Not only will be giving the championship trophy to one of these teams following the game, and Mike Tucker will be out in the middle of that for the presentation, currently in the possession of North Quincy. And it is possible that it may go to the other side of the city. Time out in the field with 3:30 to go in the football game, 23-17. Quincy with the lead. It was 17-0 North Quincy as Kiley scored twice. O'Donohue with a 44-yard field goal. Then Thackeray scored with a minute to go for Quincy, and that cut the lead to 17-8 at halftime. And here in the fourth quarter, Bogan runs of 1 and 6 yards have given the Presidents the 23-17 lead. 3rd and 7. North Quincy needs to hold Quincy on this play. Reardon right, pitch to Bogan. Bogan sweeping left side, cutting back inside. He's to the 30. He's to the 25, 20. Penalty flag, and Mark Bogan high steps it in. Touchdown. We've got a penalty flag.
Clip.
And it's probably going to come back on the clipping call, as Mark Bogan was high-stepping it in, but it's going to come back on clipping. So North Quincy with a break on the clipping penalty.
Well, the Zebras are really having a field day out here today. They're really throwing those flags down, but I didn't pick it up, but they must have been...
Let's see see if we can see it on the replay.
I couldn't pick it up.
Nope. But
tough break for Quincy.
So the ball goes back to the 40-yard line, and it will be 3rd down, 3rd and a dozen for the Presidents. 3:21 to go in this football game. 23-17. Quincy with the lead.
I'll tell you right now, Charlie, though, that Quincy owns North Quincy around that end. They had 3 men out there blocking. They just wiped everybody out, and Bogan just turned on the jets and went down that sideline. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Quincy break another one unless North really gets over there and digs in.
Bogan in motion to the right. Flavin looking to throw, looking, has the time. Looking down, has his man complete at the 14-yard line.
Nice
Dan Thackeray.
Beautiful pass.
Right over the middle, Tony Licciardi on the coverage. Another first down for Quincy, and that may be the nail in the coffin.
I think so, Charlie. What a beautiful setup. Quincy just running that ball, and North was so rush conscious, and they just hit right down with the safety. The kid was on him, but he couldn't. The safety was on him, but the Quincy kid went up and brought it down.
Boy, they picked on Licciardi today, and he has played a good game. He really has.
Yeah, sure has.
But they have just picked on him as Quincy tries a sweep to the right, and nothing doing. Loss of a yard as
Quincy has more success going to their left on that sweep all day today than they had to their right for some reason.
And Mark Bogan loses a yard. Jason April with the stop, and North uses another timeout. It'll be 2nd down and 12 when we come back. 23-17. Quincy, let's take 30 seconds. We have 2:54 to go in the game. Quincy 23, North Quincy 17. Second down and 13 for the Presidents with the ball at the North 16-yard line. Coach Ken McPhee head down right now. He has talked to his defense along with assistant Peter Chisholm Jr. and Earl Metzler, defensive coordinator. And North has got to dig in and stop the pitch to Bogan. Sweeping left, now cutting back inside, looking for a hole. Bogan gets to about the 10-yard line, gain of 3. So it'll be third down. They mark it at just inside the 10 at the 9.
I don't know what it is, Charlie. North overshifts when Quincy overloads to their right, but when Quincy overloads to their left, North doesn't make the shift. They don't move man over, and they get short-changed one man over there. So that's their weakness over on the North Quincy defensive right side.
Third down and 7 for Quincy. Some movement in that North Quincy line, trying to shake things up. Here comes the rush, and Flavin is sacked at the 20-yard line. Jason April, who has played an outstanding game defensively for North Quincy, blew in and sacked Mike Flavin, and it will be fourth down. The clock still moving with 2 minutes to go in this football game.
Can't say enough about that North Quincy defensive line. They're a smaller bunch of kids, and they've really stayed in there against this big, tough Quincy line. So they played inspirational ball out there today. Not taking anything away from Quincy, but Quincy's got a good line, and you just expect a great game from them. But when you're going up and you're outweigh 20 pounds, man, it's give North Quincy kids credit on that side of the line. But they've been playing. They're tired right now. They're tired.
Quincy has taken a timeout with 1:37 to go in the game. It is 4th and 17. Quincy 23, North 17. We'll take 30 seconds. From the Quincy Football Parents Association with the championship trophy that's going to go to one of these teams following this game. Right now, advantage Quincy. 4th and 17 to go for the Presidents at the North 20-yard line as Flavin drops back looking to throw, and he overthrows it into the end zone, incomplete. So North will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line with 1:33 to go in the game.
80 yards to go for TG, Charlie, and North's in a pretty tough spot. Quincy's riding high now. They got that big defensive line in there, and they're all hepped up. They're not going to give too much quarter. North's going to air this ball up. They're going to pull all the tricks out now to get down this 80 yards in this football field.
Well, pictures today have been provided from Quincy Community Television. Keith Nickerson, Jack Lowe, and George Capadonna, along with a crew of volunteers. So we congratulate them, and Mike Tucker from Quincy Community Television as well. North on offense, 1st and 10. They have to go 80 yards. Here comes the rush, and Taylor is sacked at the 11-yard line as Sean Kennedy came in blindside and sacks Mark Taylor. Loss of 9. It'll be 2nd and 19. John Nicholson will have the WJDA football scoreboard immediately following this game. Mike Tucker will be checking down on the field with hopefully both coaches. And now we get one of the North players standing up.
They're moving backwards. They're not moving forwards.
As
it gets longer and longer.
Mark Zitch came out of his stance as he came up, and it cost him 5. So with 1:02 to go, North in real big trouble. They're going the wrong way. It'll be 2nd down and 23 for the Red Raiders. The ball at their own 6-yard line. Back split, Brooks and Kiley as Taylor drops back just shy of the end zone. Out over the middle, throws it incomplete, intended for Kelleher up at the 15-yard line. And it'll be third down, 47 seconds to go, and it looks as if
Quincy's playing a pass prevent now. They get 5 men back there. They're not going to let the North Quincy receivers get behind them, so they're going to keep them pretty well hemmed in. Coach Ramos, I'm sure over there, saying, keep that ball in front of you. Don't let them get behind you, and get plenty of pressure on the passer.
The sad faces along the sideline belong to the red and black right now as Quincy with the lead. North 23-17 from the shotgun. Taylor in the end zone. Pass intercepted by Bogan. He's to the 20. He's to the 10. 5. Touchdown. Penalty flag. We've got penalty flags again, so hang on to see if it was a clip.
He's pointing to a Quincy
it's
player.
going to come back. As the clip maybe against Ali Sleeman, as that'll be the second time Mark Bogan has run it into the end zone, and it will be wiped out on penalties, but it will be Quincy ball. As you were saying, Tom, everybody going back Quincy with the clipping call, so the ball will belong to Quincy, but they will have it at the North 34-yard line with 35 seconds to go in this one.
The penalty was, way away from looked like it was quite a ways away from the interception. He took it in the middle and ran away up to the sideline on the right. There was a penalty, looked like it was called later on back in the middle of the field, so I don't know who did it, but it was a tough break for Quincy, but keeps North in a better position right now.
As Quincy has first and 10.
They're going to sit on it now.
As everybody around Flavin, and now Reardon's going to play center field in case that ball should get through one of those players. Reardon's job is to pick it up and just lay on it. 35 seconds to go, and Flavin puts the knee down. 34, and the clock moves. 23-17. Quincy will win their 29th game in this series. As Coach Jack Raymer, it has been an outstanding season, best season in many a year for the Quincy Presidents, and they're going to cap it off, and already the Quincy players are celebrating. 11 seconds, 10 seconds, and the clock continues to roll, and that will just about do it. 2 seconds, one, and that's the end of the football game. As the Quincy Presidents have come away with a 23-17 victory over the North Quincy Red Raiders, and very excited Quincy Presidents, all hugging each other and jumping around. As Bob Meehan, along with Superintendent Dr. Robert Ritchie, are out in the field, and the North Quincy players heads down as Coach Ken McPhee and Jack Raymer shake hands right now, embrace bitter enemies for this game, but those are forgotten, and they can get back to being friends. The two teams shaking hands, going through that right now, and we'll hold it right here as the ceremony will be held to give the championship trophy, and we'll keep it here for that, as the Quincy Presidents will win the trophy this year as they defeat the North Quincy Red Raiders, the final 23-17 in a very well-played football game. North Quincy led 17-0. Quincy got a touchdown and a two-point conversion in with just about a minute to go in that second quarter, and then it was all Quincy in the second half as they come back to defeat the North Quincy Red Raiders. So let's send it down in all the pandemonium to Mike Tucker, as the presidents will be accepting the championship trophy. Mike, pandemonium down there.
Information here, a lot of the kids in Quincy, even though they won this thing, they want to know how many touchdowns Comer has scored for Brockton.
Well, we'll see what we can find out. And John Nicholson back at the JDA football scoreboard. If you can check into that Brockton game and find out just how many Anthony Comer has. We don't have it right now, but we'll check on it, Mike, and see if we can get it to you.
And what's been the good thing about it is a lot of the North Quincy people are interested in this. The kids, they're even though they're against each other, they're both behind each other all the way.
as Comer and Bogan tied for the Division I scoring honors. And they would like to have Mark Bogan, and that's part of the sportsmanship that we talk about between these two squads. This morning, Tom, you were a part of it. You bust heads, but then you shake hands, and it's all forgotten, and everybody's friends again.
Great game by both teams. Quincy was a stronger team. We knew that going in, and they just took over on the second half, and North Quincy dominated it, just almost like two ball games.
All right, let's go down to Mike Tucker. They're awarding the championship trophy.
They just received the trophy. You can hear the roar of the Quincy Presidents team as they're really happy at this time.
All right, Mike, we'll check with you in a while. We'll send it back to John Nicholson at the WJDA football scoreboard, and then we'll come back out here, and I would know we'll talk to Jack Raymer, and we'll talk to Ken McPhee as well. Our final score, once again, Quincy 23, North Quincy 17. Back to John at the football scoreboard. Tucker does have Ken McPhee down on the sideline. Mike?
Kenny, a little bit different from last year. You were on the other end of for the victory. What are your comments, especially the officiating in that third quarter?
Mike, I really, if I comment on officiating right now, I'd probably say something I'd regret because I thought it was horrendous. But that's part of the game, and we allowed those things to happen to us. I think that maybe they were right in calling some of the calls against us, but I saw a lot of things that weren't called on the other side of the ledger. And you can even things off. You got to call them both ways, and I didn't think that was done today. But that's my view of it.
Now, what we've been saying through the second half is the size difference between Quincy and North Quincy. Was it starting to wear your boys down?
Yeah, I really think it did. Quincy's a heck of a team, taking nothing away from them. They did a great job, and they came back from adversity in the second half, did a good job against us. Kids, I'm still proud of my kids. My kids played, no one expected that score to be what it is today. They expected us to get blown out. I knew we wouldn't get blown out. And I'm proud of my seniors, and my senior captains have just done an outstanding job. Evan Kiley had a great day today. Matt Swerk has given us 100% of everything he's got in his whole body, every single play. Mike Oliver and Richie Brooks had an outstanding day. So, and our rest of our seniors, it's tough to say that we lost because I don't feel like we lost. We played a real good game. I think we could have won this thing. I think we should have won this thing, but we didn't come out with a win.
Charlie, do you have something to say, Kenny?
I just want to congratulate Ken, as he did say. It was a game that a lot of people didn't think that they would be in. And I know one thing, you've got a lot of people coming back. You'll have Desmond Balot, and a lot of these players that are out in the field today will be back for you next year. And they certainly earned their stripes this season and in this morning's game.
Charlie congratulates you very much on your play. He knows that you have a lot of guys coming back, especially your stud there, Desmond Balot, and he wishes to see you next year, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you, Charlie.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike Tucker, and certainly it was a game that Coach Ken McPhee, as he just said, maybe a lot of people did not expect North Quincy to be in it, but they did a superb job. 23 to 17, our final score. Mike, back to you down there.
Yeah, on first downs total was Quincy had 13 to North Quincy's 10. Mark Taylor finished the game with 17 attempts for 9 completions with 2 interceptions for 92 yards. Flavin, 5 for 10 for 87 and 1 interception. Mark Bogan finished with over 120 yards. He was the leading ground carrier. Over 207 yards for total offense for the Quincy team, and 210 for the North Quincy team.
That's it.
Okay, Mike, and Jack Raymer should be out momentarily, and we'll look forward to your interview with Jack.
Yes, and that second half, there was only one first down by the North Quincy team.
And that's certainly the key, as both teams went in at halftime, and Quincy made the adjustments that they needed, as Jack Raymer said they were going to do, and the adjustments they made worked as they shut down the North offense in that second half.
Yes, I'm going to go find Jack Raymer so we can get a comment on him.
All right, thank you, Mike, and we'll hold it here at the moment. We'll recap the scoring for you for North Quincy with 2:31 to go in the first quarter. Evan Kiley, a 1-yard run. The try for the point after, no good. North led 6-0. At 8:24 of the second quarter, Kiley this time scored from 12 yards out. And Mark Kelleher with a 2-point pass, and it was 14-0 as North Quincy with the lead over Quincy at that point. And then Pat O'Donohue, who had played on the soccer team this year, with his only varsity game, hit a 44-yard field goal. It hit the crossbar and bounced over the bar. North Quincy led at that point 17-0. And then Quincy got on the board with a minute to go in the second quarter. Dan Thackeray, a 24-yard touchdown pass from Mike Flavin. Bogan added the 2 points. It was 17-8. That's the way the game wound up at halftime. Then no scoring in the third quarter. We went to the fourth quarter, and Mark Bogan, a 1-yard run, and that made it 17-16. And then Bogan scored again, a 6-yard run. Noel DeBona with the kick, 23-17, and that's the way it ended, 23-17. And Tom Fitzgerald, before the game, and this is the God's honest truth, wrote down on a piece of paper, and we have two witnesses that were up here during the game, Tom Sullivan from the Quincy Sun and Ken Fallon, who saw this before the game. And what did you have for the score here, Coach?
I had Quincy 21, North Quincy 17. That wasn't too far.
You were 2 points off.
2 points off.
So you had the right teams winning, and you were just 2 points off.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Maybe they'll hire me in Reno for a bookie or something, making the odds.
All right. Let's see. Do we have Mike? He's talking to Tom Sullivan down there. He's being congratulated by John Franceschini. Buddy Bill Early congratulates him, and so let's see. Mike, it's all yours with the winning coach with the game ball.
Jackie, 8-1-1. You got it Thanksgiving. You got the third piece of the pie, and we want to wish you congratulations. And your team, whatever you did in that second half, you shut them off completely. Only one first down.
Well, first of all, Charlie, you up there? Raise your head. Charlie and Tom, happy Thanksgiving. You know, 50 is just another day at the beach, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure is.
I want to credit North Quincy. They played the game of their lives like I knew they would. But I want to credit the guys in the blue and white, because to come back from 17 points, they could have packed it up. They could have gone. That's why they're 8-1-1. And they deserve more credit than anything else. Adjustments at halftime, there wasn't major adjustments. We had to get the ball. We knew if we had the ball, we could move the ball. That's what we did. Defense, we had to shut them down. And shut them down we did. And that's just the determination that this team has had all year. Hard work, and it was just a great, great effort, and it's just one of the greatest wins for me, and it was a great day.
Now, the ball that you have in hand is game ball. Did you give that to anybody?
Well, we got 2 game balls today. One will be going in the trophy room for the season. The other one is going to go to Mr. Bill Hutchinson down in the Cape.
Good.
Hutch was a guidance counselor at Quincy High School for years, and he came up to see the kids, and we promised we'd get one for him. We're going to drive down to Cape and get him the ball one of these days. But Hutch will be down if you're listening.
All right, now a little celebration going on tonight after a little turkey.
Well, I'll probably just go home and put the feet up and watch a little TV like I did last night, like I told you, you know. But it'll be nice TV watching to look at this. And again, just a great game. And I want to credit the seniors, Mark Bogan, Billy Reardon, Graham Chevry, Mike Flavin, Mike Tempesta. They're the best, you know, that I've had. And they're just an inspired group of kids, and everybody in that team. We started August 25th together. We ended here together, and it's a great feeling.
Charlie, anything you'd like to say?
Tom, I think, has a question.
Yeah, no, I haven't a question. I'd just like to say to Jack, congratulations on a great season, Jack. You've had a few rough years, and you've hung in there, and you brought this Quincy team up to being one of the best teams this Quincy's had in many years. And congratulations. I know it wasn't easy, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and you've done a great job. And when you give that trophy to Hutch, say hello to me.
I will, Tommy. I really appreciate it.
Jack, as far as the football game, it reminded me in some aspects of the Bridgewater game earlier this year, the tie that they came out and it looked like they were going to knock your socks off, and you just had to get your bearings and make your adjustments, and then it was your game.
Well, it's very similar, Charlie, because we had the Bridgewater game, I think, 2 or 3 touchdowns called back in that second half. But this time, it didn't end in a tie. And you know, to come back like that, I think everybody in the stadium, number one, they saw a great football game. But number two, they lived up to the press they've been getting, and it's great they've had that. It's gone on in a great win, and I'm just proud of the kids.
Great job.
Jack, congratulations. Happy Thanksgiving, and I think the turkey's going to taste pretty good at the Raymer house.
Little cranberry sauce, too, Charlie, and I'm watching my weight as we always do. You know that.
Yes.
You going to Disney World, too?
No more of that stuff. Thanks, guys.
All right, Jack, congratulations. So, Jack Raymer, the head coach, and Mike, your closing comments on the radio side.
Well, Charlie, it was a pleasure working with you guys. We've only done it the last 3 games of the year, but hopefully it's something we can do for next season, too. And I want to wish both your families a happy Thanksgiving and behalf of everybody here at Continental Cable.
All right, and thank you, Mike. Great joining with you, and we'll look forward to working with you again next year. And happy Thanksgiving, and we congratulate all the people, the volunteers who telecast the game today.
Thank you
a lot.
All right, thank you, Mike Tucker. All right, 23-17, our final score as everybody filing out. And Tom, great win for Quincy. Congratulations to them as their record 8-1-1. North Quincy drops to 4-5. Mark Bogan ends the year with 17 touchdowns, and great season for this youngster, Mark Bogan.
Oh, sure was a great season for Quincy, the best record they've had in good many years since I think the undefeated team that Hank Conroy had over 10 years ago. So as I said to Jackie, the road wasn't easy to build a club like this, and he certainly had a great year, and it finished up the way it should have for him, you know, coming from behind. It was all North Quincy. First half, North Quincy dominated. There's no two ways about it. Kicked that field goal and bounced off the bar, and North had their own way. But Charlie, I just could see it when Quincy came out in that second half. You could see the intensity that they were playing with, and they just come back and dominated. As we said, we don't have to go over the stats again. They just dominated the second half, and they got a well-rounded team. They can pass when they want to. They lull you to sleep with the run, then all of a sudden they hit you with the pass. They can run inside and outside, and Bogan's a great ball player. Jason Anderson and the quarterback and their receivers, they have it all, and they were bigger, and they just wore North down too, and North didn't know what was coming at them in that second half. So, but North never quit. They hung in there. They dug in, and it was a great ball game. Both coaches threw everything they possibly had. Even North at the end there, Charlie, when they were behind, they were throwing the ball, you know, sitting in the end zone. They were throwing that ball out, and they get a couple of interceptions. But that's the spirit they had. They say, hey, we're going to go all the way. We're not going to play conservative. We're in a football game. We're going to do anything we can, wide open. And that's the way the ball game was.
Once again, our final score, 23-17, Quincy with the victory. And Tom, a pleasure working with you this year. Great job, and
thank you.
We thank you for all your help.
Well, thank you, Charlie, and thank you for putting up with me in the first few games. I was pretty nervous. You remember that first game we covered? What was that team that?
We did Somerset Blue Raiders and the North Quincy Red Raiders.
I'm just sitting here now, and it's nice and cool, fall day, and it was so hot then, and I was sweating with heat and nervousness, and thank you for putting up with me, and it was a great pleasure to work with you. I learned so much this year, and I hope we can get together next year and come back and do some games. And I had so much